I roll.
What are you doing? What are you doing?
What are you doing? Here, let me share that. Let me share the link because we have a lot of people. We're doing an onboarding for Spanish speakers from some guy who's LME crypto.
Oh yeah.
So basically, just Halleck is doing it. Kaz said he start helping also. So just share some stuff.
Yeah.
Okay. Should we get Cos in? I'll send a message to Cos.
Yeah, it's okay. There's a lot to talk about. So let me share this. I'm sharing the link. Which one is it that you find most useful? Because I know that there's the 3 ones. There's the YouTube one and the other one. That means backstage.
The YouTube one's probably the best one.
YouTube one is the backstage. Okay.
Yeah. YouTube
I usually, right? Because I've always have it there. We should probably pin it to our little chatting thingy. Because sometimes it just goes. Because sometimes by the time I scroll all the way, I got to scroll.
Yeah.
And I have to admit, I like Discord more than Telegram, but there's so many people on Telegram. You know. What is that? All right. So she was the artist who made me this. So of course, I'm never taking it off now, right? So.
Okay, Emma ya ven tu escuela.
Right, just glue.
So no worries. I'm just let me go see if I can find a headset. Because sometimes it's better. I have terrible hearing, so if there's too much noise, it's hard for me to focus. It's hard for me to pay attention. Okay, pero bájate. Okay. Here, I'll go like this. Is the video good like this or like this? Because sometimes I feel like it looks washed out.
No, you're good.
Okay. I mean, you're the superstar. I'm just I just want to be in your entourage.
Right, get this.
All right, so I share the YouTube. Okay. I'm gonna share it on the other side.
Okay, bro. Right.
Here's my homework.
Because some said they wanted to participate on the onboard. I guess they could do it from there, from the YouTube one. Is that the one that works also? Is that?
Yeah, they can message it on that, or they can message on D Live. Like, still good.
Okay. How's it going for you? You getting more people, or you feel it's kind of been static? How's that?
Yeah, like since I've been doing this, we've had like an extra another 80 to 100 people follow on YouTube and stuff like that. So yeah, it's picking up, it's getting better.
Yeah, and I told them, it's like, feel free to ask questions in Spanish, even though we might be talking in English. Some of us can just go back and forth, and it's okay. Bigger audience, right?
Exactly.
So, look, it's okay. Okay. Let me send this over here.
Chicas, vengan, vamos a dejar a papi que haga su reunión.
Lo que no hace.
Bueno, le dije que podía hacer el tablet. Igual yo la tengo para ti.
Quiero hacer algo para papi. I'm going.
She doesn't bother me. We're good.
Okay.
It's good. Emma, I don't know. She has class. I don't know. If she wants to be
We're going to do art soon.
You're going to do art? Wow. Not yet. Igual, Mila, si quieres jugar aquí abajo. This is how it is, everyone's sheltering at home, everything's at home, so this is how it's gonna be.
Yeah, we've just had lockdown in the UK now as well, so we're not allowed out to do anything.
I mean, and the thing is, you want to be able to go outside. It's different, So, are we all right? We're good, Emma. Let's look at the line. Are we on? Are we good?
Yeah, we're on. We're good.
Okay.
Share the link around. I'm probably getting hold of Cos. I've mentioned it to Cos, but he hasn't come in yet.
Okay.
Yeah, should we? First thing to mention is the fact that Bankroll has stayed above $1.
I mean, what's going on with Bankroll? What do you want to talk about? Let's go ahead, pose the question. There's so many going Hang on,
I'm Betty.
Sorry, I've got an extra person here. I've got an assistant, so she's going to be a part of it. So I'm going to try and mute so it doesn't get lost in the translation.
What's that? So I'm just going to share the chart quick as well, so people can see what we're talking about.
Yeah, I mean it's not doing too bad.
So if we go, there we go. So I can't see it dropping back.
There we go.
Yeah, that's just staying up there, isn't it?
It's
just hanging around.
Yeah. I mean, it's it's funny because I think we were sometimes people get like, oh my God, it's they always talk about what is it, pumping and dumping. It's like it's gonna go up, it's gonna go down. There, everyone's selling. It's like, what are you selling? You can only sell what's available, so it's only the little bit amount that's available because the rest is locked in flow. I mean, that's actually what makes it a very good support line. So I mean, it just looks great. I mean, so people are basically, they're playing with the market with whatever's available, and that's the stock market. So it's just doing it with this. I mean, there is a floor, and the floor is set in flow. So but how's it going? I mean, what does that tell you? Demand is good.
Yeah, it's good. Demand is our friend. It's got but I definitely think what's helped that is when he introduced that the Banker X swap. I feel like that really helped because people did that, bought in, and then he put the 500 APY on the Stronghold contract, and now that's starting to pump the banker price a little bit now, isn't it?
Yeah. I mean, I mean, honestly, look, what they say, banker holds value. I mean, and think of it that way. What they talk about. Hold on. It holds the value really well. So I mean, as the demand of it goes up, I mean, every roll, every claim, every deposit, 5% of it goes to Stronghold. And the price of Stronghold is fixed to banker. So right now, you're right. Banker, people say it doesn't have a lot of use. Oh, I know, but 5% of everything goes to Stronghold. So that's banker, fixed to banker.
Yeah, just raising the floor in Stronghold. That's gonna, in the long run, that will push the price of banker up anyway, naturally. The same as what Stockpile sort of done with Banker X.
Yeah, I mean, it's like I said, it's a brilliant thing, right? I mean, the APY on Stronghold was always strong. I mean, it's funny because people say, well, the APY is kind of going down. It's like, well, as the value of the coin goes up, of course it has to go down. It has to go down a little bit, but that's not a bad thing. That just means is that it's becoming more valuable because the value of itself is already increasing. If you gain 50% of its value, then the APY is going to be a little bit less.
Right. It's been nice this week, like just watching the flow dividends build up because you just get to count everything in dollars now rather than 80 cent, 50 cent. So just watching that has been great. I've managed to get a few more people involved in the flow as well this week. So I passed it on to a few more family members and everything. And I was just saying to them, you get in, it's at a decent price now, and it probably will go up a little bit more. It could potentially half in price, but just due to the flow contract, you're going to make three and a half more your Banker X coins anyway. So you're still going to be up overall by the end of it. It'd have to drop by a massive amount for you not to be up.
Yeah, I mean, and the demand is still there. I mean, that's so the people, because that's the thing, right? As you're rolling. I mean, that's really the whole point of rolling. Because I've seen where some people will do the $10. Let's talk Banker X because I think saying $10 will sometimes can be misleading because it depends on what coin you're using, right? Whether it's yen or Aussie dollar or Euro dollar or American dollar. So I just like to say let's stick with Banker X. That way it might be easier. But if you put, I'm going to put 10 Banker X and then I'm going to start taking out within a week. It's like, why are you doing that? I mean, it's like I don't see any problem with putting a minimum amount. If that's what your budget is, then that's fine. but the whole goal of it is to increase it, right? So let's say 10 Bankrex is, let's just use round numbers. It's 40 TRX, which is not quite there, but it's just about, right? So 40 TRX. It takes, so you put in 40 TRX is one banker, right? So we're talking about 400. So every roll, every claim, let's just takes about 10 TRX every time. So, you know, if you're going to do minimum amounts, okay, but then realize that it might take several days for you to roll, you know, for it to make it worthwhile. And at the same time as you're doing that, you know, it might take a week or more. That's why some people say, it's like, well, maybe there should be a minimum of 50 or a minimum of 100. It's like, well, that would be great. We just don't know what everyone's budget is. And the whole point of flow is to be very inclusive and let everybody come in, you know. But then you have to understand that you just, you know, just keep rolling. It's like, well, how long are you going to keep rolling? It's like, well, I mean, what is your max? Are you saying, I want to put $10 and I want to make $100 in a week? Man, that's not that's not exactly realistic, right? I mean, it's more like, let's put $10 and say, you know what, at the end of the year, I'm hoping that this will be something good. And maybe at 2 or 3 years, then I can start making it where it could be a weekly budget. Okay, then you know what? And then just roll. You know, what is your end goal? Are you talking 3 years, 4 years, 5 years? Like, wow, but you're talking in years. It's like, well, you put $10. You put 10 Bankrex. What do you want me to tell you? It's like, but hey, but again, you can always add more. I mean, you can always add more. Maybe that's what your budget is right now, and that's what you want to do, and that's fine. I mean, you know, because sometimes people talk about, well, what chain can I get in? Can I get into 1,000 Bankrex chain? It's like, well, with 10 Bankrex, no. I mean, the fairest thing is if you're going to put 10 Bankrex, then we'll put you in a 10 Bankrex chain. If you want to put 100 Bankrex, then let's put you in a 100 Bankrex chain. You know, it's just fair for everyone. It's also fair for the people who are under you, but also people for the people who are before you also, because you kind of want everybody to have the same amount. I mean, it's just fair where everyone puts the same amount of investment. Of course, always within a certain margin. It's like, oh, you put 99. It's not exactly 100. It's like, come on.
Yes,
yeah.
It's one Bankrex, mate.
Yeah, exactly. Because sometimes things in the market changes, and you thought an idea is like, you know, so you know, at some point people are like, hey, I'm making $100 USD chain, and then as Bankrex has gone up, it's not exactly 100 anymore. Now Bankrex is more valuable, but we get it. I mean, no one's going to be that stickler. If anything, you're going to appreciate that someone's behind you. You know, you have a nice chain. You know that you have a team there with you, and that's really what the whole thing of flowing into the community and having a nice team.
Yeah, 100%. There's because yeah, today I got one of my friends, Joe. I got him involved, and then he actually ended up getting his girlfriend involved today. So I must have explained it really well to them.
Yeah. Yeah.
But I was trying to explain to him, because he was saying, well, what happens if everyone just decides to just take the money out and stuff like that? And I was kind of saying, you know, they can't. You know, you could save up for 100 days. You could take that money out, and then you would ROI. But in the long run, it's going to take you longer to benefit from the system. The whole idea of flow is to increase your position of what you have within the Bankroll society, and you know, you want to generate as much Bankrex as you can. Like, you should really have a goal in mind of like how much you want to sort of generate, maybe an hour or a day or whatever you're sort of rolling. And I was just explaining that to him, and I was trying to explain, like, not everyone can take their Bankrex out. You're limited to 1% a day plus the rewards that you generate from who you get involved or who's beneath you. So that also protects you from the price crashing as well.
Yeah.
And then he kind of clicked onto that and he invested. So
yeah,
that's a good shout.
No, exactly. I mean, that's the thing, right? Some people say, "Oh my God, the price crashed." You know, the moment you know, someone says like, "Oh, the price crashed. The price crashed," and it was like, "What did it crash to? What did it crash to? $1.05." It's like, you do realize it went up like 40% in 3 days. I'm actually glad that it's, you know, kind of settled.
Yeah.
So I'm actually glad it kind of settled. So I mean, that just makes me pretty happy that it settled down to a pretty good, because that kind of lets you know, it's like, okay, I can get back in it again. I can get back in it again. I mean, and some people, look, I totally get it. Some people say, hey, you know, I've been in this doing for a month now. I kind of want to claim because I need to pay some bills. It's like, perfect. I mean, that's what this is for. It's really meant to be used to where it adds value and it does something for you. It's not meant to be, you know, at this moment, you know, somebody's like, well, I can replace my salary right now. It's like, I mean, it depends on what you invested in. You know, that's not exact. We're still in the mass adoption phase, right? Yeah. So, you know, as you're starting out, it's like, yeah, this is the idea, but you gotta let it time for it to mature. I mean, it's like saying, you know, I got a 1.5-month old baby. I want him to eat, feed himself, clean his dirty diaper, nappy, or whatever, and do everything all by himself at a 1.5 months. It's like, you gotta give it time. You know, you gotta give it time. I don't care. The best stock in the world won't do like that in a month. You know what I mean? It's like, yeah, I just bought myself 100 shares of Tesla and I replaced my salary. Whoa!
Yeah. So you want to talk a bit more about the onboarding the Spanish people, or onboarding?
Yeah, so I mean, we've been talking to like you know, people because mostly it's English dominated, right? I mean, there's people from other cultures who have been using Bankroll, but there's not a lot of information. Like I would say that's to be say, hey, this is how we do it and stuff like that. I've seen a couple of videos here and there. But there was this guy is you know, LME Crypto, does a Spanish YouTube and looking to kind of get involved. And he has been, I guess he's been in the Bankroll system for a while. And, you know, we are just kind of doing some more stuff like educational stuff and explaining, because of course, what is the question? What is always the one question? Is this a Ponzi?
Oh, every time.
Every time, right? This is a Ponzi. It's a Ponzi. It's a Ponzi.
It's a Ponzi.
You know, here we are, we're milking it. And it was like, and what's it? I mean, and I tell her, it's like, well, it's really not, because what is a Ponzi, right? I mean, you know, some people have mentioned other things like, you know, others like, you know, TRX chain or this. I've even heard the word BitConnect, which, you know, I have to admit, I'm not very familiar with it too much. I've heard of it because it's a little bit precedes me.
Yeah.
But I mean, I get it. In TRX chain, you have something coming in, and then you have someone that takes it and goes out. So I get it, right? Because it's a one-to-one, you know, it just moves. You have to keep feeding, you have to keep getting new people to feed the top, and it keeps going like that. So how is this different, right? Well, because there is something that comes in, right? TRX, and you buy Banker X. Now, Banker X is minted, pretty much minted for flow. So it's printing it. So now, what happens if everyone takes it all at once? Well, everyone sells all of the shares and it all crashes, right? But the thing with flow is that you have it locked in. So over 90-something% of it will be locked in. You know, some people say 1% or 2%, depending on referrals. But let's just assume no one has a referral. Everyone want to do on their own. So that means 99% is locked in. So everyone sold their 1%. And 1% of what are we at 20 million yet? So let's just say 1%, everyone sold their 1% all in one day, boom, and the price will crash that 1%.
Yeah.
Or whatever's available, right? Because there's things that whatever's available, but everyone else is locked in. And eventually that price will stay in the market, you know?
Yeah. It's because with you know, with Ponzi's, with flow, you don't actually have to refer someone to make money. You know, you're gonna get that 1%. You don't have to refer anyone. You'll still get paid. You can mint the tokens at the end, and you're receiving something for your time of putting your money in there. Pretty much, you know, with Ponzi, that's not the same thing.
Exactly. I mean, in TRX chain, they are not making TRX. TRX is not being minted by the system, right? So, I mean, in here we are, you know, the coin is being minted at a flow. So you'll always get your percentage. You'll always get what's ever coming out. I mean, there's no guarantee on the value, of course, but if most of it is locked in anyways, then there's going to be an amount that's going to be there. So there's always going to be a good, you know, some demand. So, I mean, so technically it's like, well, how long is this meant to run? It's like, well, how long do you want it to run? You know? I mean, if it's like, well, what if I just claim every day? If I claim every day and everyone claims every day, then that's not going to give you a lot of value, right? But that's like saying, I'm going to sell one share of everyone, let's all share our share of Tesla stock every day. One share, everyone, all of us share. No one buys Tesla. Man, you're not going to, you know, it's similar. So, I mean, and the good thing is that with, you know, you know, buying, rolling stuff, someone gets locked into Banker and was like, oh, Banker doesn't have much use. It's like, yeah, but it's value. You're storing value.
Yeah.
You're storing a portion of that there.
Like having a bit of gold in your hand.
Yeah. Well, I always said that, you know, it's like, you know, Banker X is like cash flow. It's like cash. Well, Banker was gold. It's just now Banker will slowly appreciate, but give it time. It has to take time. You know, it's not, you didn't build Rome in a day. You don't, you know, so this needs time. And it's been what, you know, November 25th, so a month and a half. It still needs time.
Yeah.
6 weeks.
The other big question that I keep getting is, you know, like with Ponzi's, they're not, you know, there's lack of like sort of transparency and stuff like that. So, you know, with Bankroll, you can go onto Tron-Scan, you can find the contracts, and go, buddy.
Hi, bros.
You all right?
Hey, how you doing? Do you hear me?
Yeah. Philly, you're muted.
Yeah, I have just 5 minutes, okay? So fine, and you?
Hey, ¿cómo estamos? ¿Cómo estamos? We're good. We're
Muy
good.
bien, muy bien.
Crazy, right?
I didn't stop for 2 hours doing that chain. Muy bien, muy bien.
Yeah. So he's the big boss, right? So Khalil here, he's the big boss. He's the one who's doing all the onboarding and stuff. I just the guy that takes time.
What can I do?
No.
What can I do?
No.
So yeah, do you want to talk about Bankroll and like how you're getting on with it and stuff like that? And if you
just a moment, because they're mixing. Because I have it on open the YouTube. I'm listening you twice.
And if you want, you can explain it in Spanish, because I know we got people who are watching in Spanish and too in English, and that's okay. I know you only got a couple minutes there, but if you want to feel free. I mean, this the whole point is education
Vale.
and reach out. Okay.
Muy bien.
Oh, just gonna grab some water.
Ok, no, solo decir que estamos organizando una buena cadena con gente de Sudamérica y de España y bueno, estamos intentando ayudar a que la gente crezca poco a poco. Es nuestro trabajo un poco también para ayudar un poco a la gente y bueno, estamos empezando hoy y que poco a poco va a ir creciendo.
¿Y cuánta gente tenemos hasta ahora? Porque
ahora mismo he metido en la cadena de 100, he metido a 7 personas.
Super nice.
Ahora.
Sí, el principio siempre es lo más difícil y así podemos seguir con el onboarding o lo que sea y ayudamos a los que puedan que hagan
what I was thinking, just a moment, because estoy escuchándoos el doble. Espérate, que tengo el YouTube abierto y el Live Studio abierto, las dos. Espera un momento. A ver, voy a cerrar todas las pantallas. Un momento.
Yeah, he's got both the YouTube and the live stream, so he's trying to figure out how to get it working. He's talking so on the Spanish, you know, we were onboarding people from Spain and South America, and we have people on like 100 Banker X chain. Right now, it just started at like I think 7. Because there's multiple different chains, so we're just trying to focus on one right now, and then keep going. And then as people get used to the platform, then they can kind of figure out how to do it themselves.
Ahora.
But the beginning is always tough. You know how it is. Here, I'll let him speak because he almost got it.
Now. Okay, now. Then what I was thinking that it should be perfect that the first side wallet that we are going to do, it was in charge to do it the vertical line, because otherwise it will be crazy, because I have more than 70 people waiting for me, you know. But I don't know exactly which one is the responsible, because I don't know them. Then I don't, because it's a lot of I don't know, responsibility to do it in the right way. But I think if I could find one on the 100 chain, another in the 50, another in the 500, and this one, the first one, make the line, it will be better. But I don't know. I will ask to this YouTuber if he knows anyone to, if he knows he have opened his channel for a long time, if someone of them are responsible to do that, to teach them, and each one to do in the line. I think so. What do you think?
Yeah, I mean, it's I mean, with Telegram, it's a little, you know, in Telegram is big. You'd almost want to.
Yeah, Discord is quite better. Yeah, quite better.
Yeah, Discord is a little bit
Telegram.
more organized, I find it. But you can do it in Telegram, maybe doing like additional Telegram channels, saying like 10 to 25 banker X Telegram for uniting and this and that. Or just starting by one person, just be able to teach one person in each of the groups.
Yeah, this is what I'm saying. This is what I'm saying. Yeah.
So you're saying that you want someone responsible for setting up the chains on the 25 banker and the 50 banker and the 100 banker?
Yes, I will let the first, because now we are going to do we are doing the side chains for the YouTuber. Okay. Then we're starting with 100, and there are some people with 50, or no, it's small ones, 50, 30, 20. Just there is one guy is 450, and this is, I think, we talked with Feli to bring it right down in the vertical of the YouTuber. If you do you think it's okay? Because he put 500, and this one he wants to put 450.
Yeah,
it's okay.
Yeah. Roughly
No,
the same.
whatever you want. You said for me it's okay, or he will have to wait to make another site in this amount.
No,
okay?
for mí está bien. Está dando un por ciento, o sea, está bien, tú sabes.
Son 50.
Entre
Entonces
900.
lo voy a poner justo debajo de la tule ese, ¿vale? Yo te indico después de hacerlo, te lo indico para que tú hagas el Excel.
Sí, porque yo estoy debajo de Tule, y entonces debajo de eso sería debajo de eso tenemos.
Entonces, ¿qué huele? ¿Es el 1K? No, bueno, ahora te pregunto de esto.
Okay. Yeah, I'm fine. Yeah, because we're talking like for
did you actualize the Excel?
Yes, I actualized the Excel.
Okay, then I will put it down on the last one.
Things, right? These are the things. This is how you have to make it work, right? This is the hardest part. I would say this is the organization is the hardest part of Flow. You know, you got to go into the team viewer. You got to put the address. You have to check, make sure that the person is visible. You know, and then also you look at, is there directs or not directs? Okay, then you got to go down to that one. Are we going to do it here? Then you can actually look at the quantity, make sure. I mean, it is a process, right? I mean, and it's an organizational process that for some of it's like, what is this? What can I do?
Learning.
I love you.
Yeah.
I love you in the park.
Pero es un proceso, hay que estar bien organizado.
Sí, hay que aprender. No, está bien. Por ahora muy bien.
Un Excel, yo tengo que poniendo un Excel.
Y lo voy a preparar esta noche.
Yo creo que estaba haciendo donde pone un Excel y ponen el último wallet, y entonces así va el próximo. Y así mientras van aprendiendo lo pueden hacer, porque a veces y verificándolo por el TeamViewer.
Ok, voy a pinear esta noche a ver el Excel ese para que ellos vayan viendo y a ver si ellos también poco a poco van haciéndolo también ellos. Okay, Pac, how you doing? I didn't talk with you. Fine. Yeah. Okay. Esta noche tenemos la noche de Reyes Magos aquí, a los niños.
Oh, that's true. Tonight is we have a festival tonight in it's
Spain.
It's Spain, but also in Latin American countries where it's like Fiesta de Reyes Magos, which is like Three Kings Day, right? Yeah. Okay. And it's basically where
like Christmas Day there is they give the gift to the child.
Yeah. Yep. So it's basically like
I have to arrange everything tonight with my wife.
Yeah. It's basically it's more like the Catholic or Christian version of Christmas, because it's like Christian, we talk about Santa Claus, but really it was about three kings who give the gift that Christ was born and stuff. So as a gift tomorrow, they're doing for part of that we're doing an airdrop, right? So it's going to be one of the airdrops for everyone who's available who has at least 100 Banker X airdrop for everyone who's under the chain, and it'll become obviously one at least have to have net 100 Banker X. You can look at it on TeamViewer. Because I was like, well, I had 100 there. It's like, well, yeah, but it's, I mean, I can't fake the system, right? You have 100, but if you claimed a couple times, it'll show less. So, and you might have claimed for good reasons. I mean, you know, sometimes people claim, hey, look, you know, I'm making side wallets, or I'm sending something from my brother, or I'm making some TRX that I need for fees. I totally get it, but I can't override the system, right? The contract is immutable. It is what it is.
It is.
So 100 Banker X, of course, you got to have one reference. One reference. It just means that you added 1%. It doesn't have to be a big reference. It
No,
just
it's easy. No, it's easy. No, it's
Yeah.
just to put a little bit of interest.
Yeah. So tomorrow, so you got the guys have until tomorrow to do this. So whoever's under the chain, that's what I did. Will pretty much accumulated. I think last time I saw there was about 150 Banker X to spread out. There was only about 12 people, and it's like, oh, but it's only 10 or 12. It's like, I'll take 12. I'll take 10 or 12 Banker X. Where's my airdrop? Where's my
It's
airdrop?
true. Okay, guys, I have to go dinner. Okay.
Okay.
And thank you for your help, and we'll see. We'll try to do my best. Okay.
Dale, brother, cuídate, ok, un placer, feliz Día de los Reyes, que la pases bien y sigue con el buen trabajo, mi hermano, ¿está bien?
Venga, bye. Oh, aquí una flower también, small flower.
Talk to you soon.
Bye. See you.
Bye.
Bye. Turn off.
Bye.
All right, look,
Bye.
I think we got someone here joining us.
Yo, buddy, how's it going?
Can you guys hear me?
Yeah.
Yeah, we can
Oh
hear
my
you.
God, it's loud. Okay. So I just did my trip. I'm home. I almost got it in the front on the highway. Some old crazy guy. Never happened to me, but well, I got lucky. I got like, oh! Crazy. All I saw was my flow. Who's gonna roll my flow? I'm gonna write it in my will. Don't forget to roll every day. Peace. So January is here.
I had it muted. I was laughing too out loud.
What were we talking about before? We were talking about why it's not a Ponzi, weren't we? That where we was up to, I think.
Say that again.
We were talking about why it wasn't a Ponzi, I think. That's where we got up to. I can't remember what we were talking about.
So go ahead. Let's get your opinion of why it's how it's not a Ponzi.
Wait, I'm having trouble listening. I don't know if these headphones are working. It's really, really loud. Well, whatever. So why isn't a Ponzi? Well, I guess we all try to answer the same thing in different ways because people don't seem to understand quite what the Ponzi is. So I'm going to try to see an example why it isn't a Ponzi. Well, because you can play it a single player. Oh, that should do it. If you don't want to join a team, if you're not social, you can still earn what the contract tells you you're going to earn. It's in the code. You're going to get 1% in 24 hours. If you someone joins under you, that's your choice. If you want to join under anyone, it's your choice as well, because you can always pick the default address and support the community and get pretty good airdrops as we all seen this Christmas. It's I mean, when one person I was listening to some podcasts these holidays, and people in the business world don't refer. They do clearly distinguish between Ponzi's and multi-level marketing, and they see on multi-level marketing $1 trillion business. If you're not doing multi-level marketing in some aspects of being wealthy and being financial independent, you're doing it wrong. You always need to delegate some part of your work. You always need to to make other people earn for you, you cannot do it alone. So that distinguishes multi-level marketing from a Ponzi. A Ponzi is like the same thing I was going to say, but you take what you are making in a business and you are paying other businesses and you keep switching money and eventually it runs out. That doesn't happen in flow. That point. Well, of course, multi-level marketing. You have to talk to people, and people have to kind of work for themselves, and you benefit from it. But it's not essential to the ecosystem. It's not a fulcral part of the ecosystem. If that person doesn't do it, it doesn't hurt. It doesn't benefit us. Well, we as we've seen so far in flow. It really pushes everyone in the community to go out there and recruit more people. I mean, not recruit, just show them their gains, show them the price movements, show them the fun. I mean, most of all, we are all in the Telegram. We're all excited. We're all having fun. We're all enjoying the price movement of Bitcoin. And perhaps people are so excited because Bitcoin is up 20%. And they're buying out Lambos, and we have 10x since 2 months. We're kind of bringing some new levels of fun while also respecting their gains. I mean, everyone can win here. The only way you cannot win is by bringing negativity to the space. Is by not trying not to try to deny and call it a Ponzi. And one great thing that Flow has brought is that many haters are now starting to see that their hate has cost them a lot of money, has cost them a lot of tokens.
Yeah.
And they're coming back. And thank God, it's okay. It's okay to hate. We don't know where everyone is in life. But it's good to welcome them with an open heart and explain them why we think flow is great. And yeah.
I mean, I think it's I mean, it's good to this. It's technically not Ponzi because we're not taking old money. It's actually money buying a token. A token is being generated, and the token will continue to be generated. The value of the token may change at the same time. So that's why I think at some point when it went up, I think it was like, when it went up to like almost 40 TRX at one point, and then it kind of, people say, oh, like went down, it consolidated at a lower price. Then it's like, well, everyone sold. It's like, well, everyone who might have sold it sold, but there it is. Here's the price, and it was steady. And actually, I like that because that's how a good stock, a good coin, a good token should do that, where it goes up, but then it consolidates a little bit. That's the new floor, and it goes up.
Yes.
And then it consolidates a little bit. That's the new floor, and it goes up, and it consolidates a little bit. I like that.
We all know from being in the roller coaster in crypto in general, there are certain price points that people look forward. Maybe it's the $1. You see, the $1, it really is emotional for some people. 90 cents, not $1. When it comes to $1, people are like, okay, I'm gonna take some profits now, and I think that's healthy for the system because, well, I don't like. I'm gonna say it, but it's important for some people to sell, and sometimes you're like, I like that the price always goes up, but in reality, it's good that price sometimes comes down a bit, because we do believe in the system. We do believe that tomorrow, in a week, the number's gonna get higher. The math doesn't change from 1 minute to another. So it's good that the price comes down a little bit because people see now it's my time to come. Now I can go at 80 cents because I've seen $1. So if I've seen $1, I can make the 20%. And once they buy at 80 cents, they see that $1.20 in next week. And I mean, it's great to have multiple price points. Now, I wasn't expecting that to be so drastic, the movement. I said 32 in January, but I also said that if we could capitulate a little bit on Tronchain's success, we would see great numbers. And look what happened. The minute Tronchain goes down, Flow gets flooded with buys. People are just buying. not exactly entering the system, not exactly not entering Telegram and telling they're a part of the community. They are silently buying, and I think that was step one of our great success, is capitulating in that market. And I think the future looks bright from now. There's no flaws. I mean, someone has yet to tell me how can the bloat explode, and I haven't seen one reason yet to jump ship. And I think the whales haven't seen it either.
Yeah, I still don't think we've seen the all-time high yet. I reckon it's still got quite a long way to go.
Which is healthy. I mean, it's a healthy thing to say. It's a healthy thing to realize as a community that this isn't the top. We are baffled. We're baffled by the price action, but we are by no means stopping here. We know the time frame we have in the contract is still huge, and seeing this kind of price action right now is like comparison. Let's call Bitcoin at 10 cents for 1 year and buying a pizza, and then Bitcoin goes to $3, and people are like, yeah, I'm gonna sell it all. I'm a millionaire. It's the top. I'm gonna sell because it was worth 10 cents. Now it's at 3. So that's kind of the numbers we're looking at here. There's so much room for growth that people should not be afraid of. Well, first of all, speculating about prices is different, but I think it's an healthy thing in all communities to see investment side, to see like most people are not only in flow, some are in stockpile, some are in stronghold. So there's some believers in the community, there's some players in flow, and they're speculators. And I think it's healthy that everyone gets along and understands. Well, it benefits us all. So I think it's nowhere near the top, and that's good for new players to hear us say that. And we're not bullshitting. I literally just explained why I don't think it's the top.
Yeah. I keep saying this to people because they ask me about price, about getting in. I'm just like, you should just get in. Like, I wouldn't really worry too much about the price right now, because one, you're going to be generating 1% a day for the rest of the year. And also, I don't think it's the top. So I think you're actually going to get a return on your investment by the end of the year as well. Just on the basic one, plus you're going to get the 1% a day for the 365 a year. So definitely, I'm just telling them to get in.
Yes, the price. I think most of all people should see that it's not 100%. That being said, there's still a lot of room for entertainment and having fun and watching the numbers grow. And depending on your strategy, you might want to play it alone. You might want to call your friends and family. And I think everyone starts out by thinking about themselves first. How can I benefit? And when they see they can benefit, they can tell other friends that are trustworthy that they can benefit as well. And that snowballs into big chains working together and collaborating. And I think it has been very, very great for all.
Yeah, I mean, there was a question there about, do we roll all the time, or do we just claim at some point? I mean, and we say, hey, look, I guess it really depends. I mean, let's say if you were to roll, if you only put 10 Bankroll, you might have to wait a couple days to roll, right? I mean, really, why would you claim? Just roll, just keep rolling. Wait a couple days. I mean, maybe that's what you can afford at this time, and that's okay. That's okay. Maybe that's what you can afford, and then you're in a group and you just all roll together, and that's totally fine. But I'm not gonna say, okay, yeah, I rolled and I'm expecting that 100, in 3 months, I want to come out with $1,000 in whatever currency you're in. It's like, that might not be realistic. You got to be pretty realistic too. It's like, look, if you're gonna put this and you're gonna say, then just keep rolling. Myself personally, what is my goal is like, I claimed for the first time in I think it was 6 weeks at one point But it was more because I needed to, I wanted to get into other chains. I wanted to sponsor for other people to join the group. I wanted to send stuff for my family so they can get in, because there's a lot of people that are just getting in for the first time, and it can be a little challenging. So I was like, look, just open your wallet. I'll send you the Bankroll X and the TRX just to get you in. And then once we have you in, then we'll kind of move on. So no, I do claim, but it's really claiming for that. Or for stuff I need. What would be my goal is like, it's basically, at some point, like if it's kind of like a paycheck, and you don't get paid every day, right? Kind of a paycheck means it's like, hey, you can go a couple weeks after the system has matured a little bit, wait for a couple weeks, and every 2 weeks I can go in and I can claim, and I can use this for the stuff that I need. It's for the stuff that you need, not just claim to put in your bank account and earn 0.001%.
Yeah.
Just use it for the stuff you need. Now, if you say, hey, look, you know what? I'm going to do a big trip I've got coming up in 3 or 4 days, and I think I'm going to do this for a couple days. Hey, that's understandable, because that's what this is for, right? This is what we're doing it for. Now, to be fair, you have a medical emergency or whatever, and that's not exactly what it's for either. I mean, this is not meant to store everything you have. It's really meant to store kind of like just say, hey, look, I want to test this out. I want to put some money here. Something that says, hey, don't bet your mortgage. No, but just something that say, I can put this here and to see how it goes a little bit. I always tell people, it's like, well, what if I don't feel comfortable putting $1,000? It's like, look, you know what? If the system can't make you anything on $10, it definitely can't do it on 100, and it definitely can't do it on 20, or 1,000. So give me a second.
Okay. Yes.
Yeah, I agree with that. Like, you definitely shouldn't put in more than you can afford to lose, and I think that's just what the nature of it across all investments. Even if it's not in crypto, you wouldn't put all your money into one thing anyway. It's kind of nice to diversify your portfolio. You can have some in Stronghold, you can have some in Flow, you can even go outside Bankroll, have some of your own coins, or whatever, XRP, or I don't know, Bitcoin, whatever. But I would never say to anyone, put all your money in one place at one time.
No, definitely not at all. I mean, for me, I love Stronghold. I mean, Stronghold, it's great. I mean, I usually roll that too. That helps the value banker. Take some TRX when I need it for the fees and stuff. The same thing with Stockpile, or when I donate, or pretty much when having new people join in. Roll, claim when I need it. Other than that, my wife was like, "What?" I took a day after a couple weeks. I claimed. It's like, "Why'd you claim for?" It's like, well, because I kind of wanted to show her, because it always goes, well, is this real money? Is this real? It's up there.
The same thing.
It's up there. So I claimed, and of course, it's like, so are you going to show me? It's like, I don't know. I just want to put it back in. I just want to throw it back in.
Yes, I think
I put a new wallet and make a new chain.
If everyone enters Flow with that perspective, they start, let's say they start with 50. They start earning every 2 days, they get $1. And then their thing is riding the price action. And suddenly they don't do anything else. And instead of in 1 day, in 2 days getting $1, they get it in 1 day. And they start to understand, oh, so I technically made money, because people who are entering now, they have to spend the double. They have to spend double to get $1. So I invested 50, but now that 50 is worth 100, and I didn't do anything. I just locked it. By rolling, you are locking your investment at a lower price, because let's say we rolled on the first day, we might have rolled €20 or $20. That now, just by locking it, we are gaining, let's see, 10x's. We are gaining that $20 every 10 days.
Yeah.
Just because we're riding the price. But that's another mechanic that brings all the boys to the yard. That the price movement allows people to scale and to scale their flow brilliantly. And what I've seen, and when the flow started, I told myself that I had to get away from my emotions and the feeling that it's gonna rug pull or vanish in a moment, and do the best decision I can. And the best decision I can was thinking ahead, that by the mechanics, and if the price doubles, rolling today, knowing that the price will double in whatever time, in a week, 2 months, doesn't matter. I will benefit more in those in 2 months from now that I'm going to benefit now. And even if you start with $10, if you start with 50, if you start with 10,000, rolling is the best decision you can make. Now, of course, people, maybe that's a great example. People in rural areas, I hate not sleeping because of price. I hate it. I hate watching that. My heart stops every time I see red. But people are in rural areas. You guys were talking about UBI, or someone was talking about UBI. Someone could invest $2,000 for a village in Africa, and they're starting, and they, with those $2,000, they make $20 a day. It's a great project. There are great projects like that, and maybe we are thinking that 50 is a low number, but for some people that might not be such a low number. So in some cases we need to differentiate those price points. And of course, if someone if you make more, it's always a personal choice. I mean, some people went in with 20,000 on the first day. Some people went with 100. It really doesn't matter. It's a personal decision. So, and everyone with their money has to be careful and do the right thing and not rush it. And so I think claiming with this system is totally healthy, because you are someone was talking to me and I was explaining to him it's healthy because you don't need to sell to anybody. You don't need to go to the market and sell it. There's no one to exchange money with. We have our own liquidity. We set the price. We will allow you to buy, and we allow you to sell. I mean, if you can buy it, if people are buying and jumping the price, you can sell it. I mean, it's two ways. So it's totally healthy. Of course, some people are dubious because we always say roll. Oh, you guys want to just build so then you can run away. Well, we're just doing the smart thing. I mean, we're incentivizing people to do the smart thing, because those who didn't roll 3 months from now are rolling. Okay, or 2 months from now are rolling. Now they see. Okay, so if you had rolled, I mean, in Bankroll, it was always like this. That's why it's Bankroll and not bank claim, as I told. So.
Yeah, I mean, exactly. It's exactly Bankroll because roll. I mean, really, and that's why I say, what is your goal? It's like, I want to have $1,000. Then you better roll. Well, what about claiming? I thought you said your goal was $1,000. Then keep rolling until you get there. You know, what's the point of claiming? You're just selling yourself short. Again, claim when you need it. Always claim when you need it. Hey, we all got to pay some fees and stuff like that. But that's why I said, that's why I like Stronghold. That's why I like Stockpile. And if you say, look, you know what? I just want to keep my banker. I don't care if it has no use. If there's no more farms and stuff like that, then stack your banker or put it or leave it in your wallet. I mean, at the end, whose money is it?
We had this conversation the other night, didn't we?
Yeah.
You told me you sold your banker for Banker X, and I was like,
I did. As soon as I sold all my banker, you know, it's like, oh, you dumped it. I did not dump. I got into a better position.
Yeah.
I got into
and then I felt guilty, and I bought more banker back.
And I bought more banker back. I did. I bought more banker back. It was a discount. It was a New Year's discount. So there was a 15 or 20% off. So I sold it all, and then I bought right back. There's not dumping. That's just a free market, right? We can all buy and sell, and actually it still stays within the
it's free. It's decentralized. You can do anything you want. There's no one that will DM you and say, why did you sell? Come on. And there's no one who will do that.
Are you paying my bills? Right? It's like, so you pay my bills? I don't know anyway. As far as right, why are we buying and selling? Yes. We're all paying our bills. We all have a goal. I mean, we understand. For anyone who's in the system, we understand why do we roll, why do we claim, you know. I mean, and that's the beauty of the airdrops, right? Because then it's like, oh, but I put all this money in. It's like, He's like, well, can't you just like, well, yes, but the airdrop helps maintain a healthy ecosystem. And I'm sure this was already said of how it's not a Ponzi. No, this is how we feed the people who are rolling. This is how we for people that are faithfully and stuff like that or need it, hey, this is what we do. This is how we can say thank you. Of course, there is a minimum. I mean, one of the first things I get asked is like, okay, I've got this 10 BankRx freebie wallet that you refunded me off. It's like, so when do you do airdrops? It's like, when you get up to 50.
Yeah.
Yes.
I mean, if we just gave you $10, $10 US, we just gave you a thing. And I mean, I don't mind because it really helps with adoption. But it's like the first thing they ask is when are your airdrops? Like, when are you doing airdrops?
I think it's healthy for everyone because maybe some people. There was a guy on Twitter. I think he was from Nigeria or something, and he asked in Twitter to BT for an airdrop for a Christmas gift, and I do airdrops for my chain. I throw him 50.
I'm joining you. I'm joining your chain. I want an airdrop.
No, but I didn't airdrop. I thought, man, I'll do a random airdrop to my team every day. So, and I thought maybe I'll just give it to this guy. I mean, but there are people that are never they are in it for the free. They want a free ride. I mean, everyone wants a free ride. And the beauty is that there are some people who got the free ride already, and they're riding on their own. They're doing their own thing now, and they started with so little. And I think it's great to see everyone. I mean, there's always going to be people. I'm talking only about wanting to receive airdrops. Now we are seeing the inflow in scamming, and I think that's very bad. And I think we should be heavy-handed on that. We should take that very seriously because it hurts the people who don't know the community and maybe will not refer because they got scammed, and I think that's bad. But
that's a good point because really there are scammers everywhere which give us a bad name. I mean, it gets it all the time where people's like, hey, you know what? I've got a massive team. I've got 500 people. You got to give me 1,000 BankRx for me to being 500 people. It's like, you got a big team. Just join Bank Teller. Forget about me. You don't need me. You don't need any money from me. Just join directly with Bank Teller. We want to help the lone fish that don't have a lot of teams. It's like, hey, look, we'll help you organize and get your chains and get this. This is what we'll do for you. We'll put you in a lice chain. We'll put you in there. We'll put you in a chain where everyone's about the same amount. You guys are investing about the same amount, and we'll assist. And everyone here is a captain of your own team. So I can put you in a chain, but you got to realize you're also the captain of the people underneath you. You got to take care of the people that are underneath you. I'll take care of my people, but that means I take care of you, and then you guys take care. And it should be a community, right? So I mean, that's where we all kind of take care of each other. It's kind of like cleaning. It's like if everyone cleans their dish and one more, then the world will never be dirty. So always do yours and one more. So the same thing in the community, same thing with airdrops.
And by cleaning the dishes, you can earn some BankRx.
Exactly.
If you don't have it, clean some dishes. Or talk to the one who's cleaning dishes and tell him you can stop cleaning dishes if you enter flow. And exactly. I think there are some people that want a free ride, and that guy in Nigeria, I saw it. I gave him a Christmas gift, but there are some people who see they can start by referring. They can almost start for free and start entertaining, and it's very entertaining for some people to go there on Twitter and shield and get the referral out. Sometimes they are more intrusive than others, but I mean, you can. It's a free world. You can block them. You can whatever if you don't like. So I mean, everyone does it. You're bombarded with publicity all the time for stuff you don't even want. And when someone tells you you can make an improvement on something and have real entertainment in the crypto space, people frown upon that and call it a Ponzi. I mean, that's a self-defense mechanism, and I think it's healthy. I think it's healthy to be cautious of everyone that approaches you, but to a certain extent, try to be reasonable and be human to someone. And if you see that a human on the other side of the coin of the talk, be human back. I'd say. I know a guy that always referred me some sites Some websites I don't really care. And I also stick with Bankroll. And well, he didn't do it, but whatever. So some people just like to get free money elsewhere. I mean, they always try the referral links on whatever things, and I think it has created an healthy ecosystem, and I don't think Bankroll has got any bad rep. I think one good thing about the community is that everyone is very respectful. Everyone understands the course of action. Everyone understands what the motto is, cash flow for all, and yeah, it's been really great 2 years. Some people positive things about Bankroll all this time, even if we are not getting before we didn't get positive spotlight, let's say.
Yeah. I mean, look, I got to give, you got to give credit where credit's due, right? I mean, Bank Teller developed a great system, and this is a system that says, here you go, take it and you run with it. It's kind of like Ford makes a car. There's tons of cars out there. It's hey, but it's your responsibility to kind of use it, not abuse it and use it for something. I mean, to be fair, I mean, it's definitely scammers out there. I mean, at some point, some of us were sponsoring, like we call the freebie wallets, where initially I was just on good faith giving it to them. And I did have a person scam me, but that was 1 out of 20. And out of those, I mean, I was like, I'll take those odds. And, I kind of posted it on the main site. It's like, hey, whoever scanned me, you missed out on the 50 Banker X airdrop.
Yes. It's the price of doing business. You just have to be very careful.
Yeah, exactly. So in terms of that aspect, I felt like, yeah, it happens. But at the same time, look, it's sponsoring a couple of people that are now, we did a Telegram, basically it's mostly Hispanic people, the HISPA buddies, and then they've actually run on their own. And now we have that. And now we have another. So now we're talking with another person who does YouTube in Spanish. And then he has his own chain underneath there. And so it's like there. And then all of a sudden we had a guy earlier, Kalik, who's on there. And, I call him the whale in sweat equity because he works his butt off. And it's kind of like you take someone like that and he's organized chain. He's got other people who's doing Excels, and someone's working from Tokyo, and then someone's from Argentina, and then someone's in Spain, and then you got this guy from Mexico, and then you got this. I mean, so you're really building a community, a virtual community, but it's also virtual, but it's a real community all the way across, all working together. We don't also have to see each other. We don't always have to Zoom each other. It definitely would be nice to have a 1-year conference somewhere between November 25th of 2021, where we could all just meet at something, And at least
I think that dream has been further away. I think right now, I'm not talking about Bank Teller himself or what plans he does, but for sure I think we could arrange more things of that nature for all, because we are seeing a more global community, and with global community we can do small community events in each country, or in Zoom or Discord right now, because we can't travel a lot. But I think I've been to a lot of community meetings from other communities on the internet, and they are not as big as this one. So if I could go to some meetings for small things, Bankroll should totally be able to, and it will be a great opportunity to speak with like-minded individuals about Bankroll and about their experiences in other financial experiences. I mean, we are citizens of the world. We like to know what everyone is doing, and that's great. And I think it's gonna be possible.
Mm-hmm. I mean, imagine if all of a sudden you make it like where like Banker was a governance token, where it says, hey, you know what? For everyone who has at least, I don't know, a number, 50,000 Banker, you can be in the room where we're making the decisions about the future of the company. It's like, whoa, I'm gonna get myself 50,000 Banker. But I'm just saying, not that that's gonna happen, but you know what I mean. There's different things, of course, to do. I mean, I'll give a shout out to one community who I've seen, and every time I see them on the Telegram site, I'm always like, I want to join them. I want to be there. It's the Vietnam community. Every time I see them, they're giving their little classes, and they're seeing little things, and they're doing little things. I'm like, can we do that? That's what happens when there's where they doing like the things on the whiteboard and everything, and I'm like, I just want to join them. Is there? Just tell me the name of the chain. What do I have to do? Can I just join? I don't care if I'm at the bottom. I'll airdrop from the bottom.
If you do these community events in the future, it's going to be a great opportunity for outsiders to come hear from us in person and in word of mouth, and see that's not just a screen, and see them work on our phones, and it's a more engaging. And I think the Vietnam team is great because of that. Because I mean, in the internet you can meet 1,000 people in one day, and they're just gonna click the next page. But in person, you have a real ability to connect with them and make them see what you see, and them asking you questions, and you stopping a bit and realizing what you want to say. And I think it's face to face can really bring a new life to Bankroll.
No, and it's funny because I mean, friends of mine who know that I've been kind of dealing with crypto stuff. It's like, hey, did you get yourself some Bitcoin? It went to 34,000. It's like, whoa, did you get something? Come on, you want to export to that action? I was like, it's like, no, I sold most of my Bitcoin, and like, or portions of it, because I've never owned Bitcoin. You know, little Satoshis or whatever. It's like, why would you do that? You missed out. It's like, I didn't miss out.
Yes,
I didn't miss out.
We are deep. We are deep.
I
mean, when people ask me, they don't ask me about crypto because I'm not one of those guys. I just understand they do not care, because if they are not in crypto, they don't want to listen to someone rambling about. And I really ramble about crypto, so I just forget it. But when they say, so Bitcoin, sure, that, yes, whatever. Yeah. We are very deep in the crypto. So like I said, so meeting people in the Bankroll community in real life, we could really start making real life friends, because the interests are kind of the same. So imagine having a dinner with 5 people on Bankroll, and your wife is there. Well, your wife is in Bankroll, so she will probably get some of it. But not me. I'm very deep in it.
That's why my wife says, like, I need you to claim, because this can't be real.
Yes, it can. Yes.
And I was like, okay, for the educational purposes, I will claim, and I'll show you how to do it. Of course,
entertainment. It's entertaining.
Well, not true. I ended up shoving most of it for an airdrop, which I'm getting ready for tomorrow. But because that's the other thing. That's why you claim airdrop. You got to claim for an airdrop. So if it was for it, but just to show her, and it was important. And actually, I think it's important. People wondering if they want to see how I make it real, we really do need to show them, because that's the part where people saying, I'm missing that piece of the puzzle. How do I make this real? And and despite me showing them how I go from here and I take it from here and I move it from here to there, you just need to show that to them, because they won't. For them, it's not real until you show it to them. This is what I do. This is how I do it. Boom, 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 and I move from here to there. And then once it is like, oh, okay, that makes sense. And the same thing. I can talk a lot. That's I think one thing that probably you and I have a common. We can just talk forever for days. Is that it's like, well, you know what? I'm not trying to convince anybody anymore. I'm just making these moves. Do I look like I'm suffering? Do I look unhappy? No. Actually, it looks like you're doing pretty good. Okay. Well, are you going to tell us how? No. Why not? You're just hogging. I've said it a million times. You're not interested.
If they want to know, I'm always told, do you want to know? I will tell you. But many times they don't want to know. They just rather be oblivious. And I think that's fine. I think that's fine. That's fine.
I believe it's tooth fairy and everything else is the same.
Right now, more people are being aware of the possibilities of crypto. I mean, people know about Bitcoin. Sure, I know Bitcoin for so long that I got deep in it, and I understand that's just not just a value on a digital token. It opened the world for a lot of possibilities of exchanging value. With Ethereum, for example, and the introduction of no middleman to do transactions between 2 parties, and with those contracts can be very complex. Those contracts, an example can be a piggy bank contract, where you deposit coins in that contract, and the contract says in the 25th of December, you're gonna get your money. That's a simple contract. There's once you put money in that contract on the 25th, you're gonna get released. There's no other way to do it. So that's the contract. And these kinds of contracts where the preposition, those are cool. Those are cool socks.
Christmas gift. Sorry, I don't want to interrupt, but these are my Christmas. These are my Christmas gift. My socks knows me very well. So what does she get me? She gets me a thing that says this is my heartbeat, and then of course she gets me. She gets me. You know, she gets me for these. I've got some from Monero. You know, I'm like, where did you get these? Like, seriously.
Great.
You know. Sorry about that. Sorry, but I just saw them next to me, and I thought it was like, you know, you want them.
I think I really got fascinated by the idea that I do not need a middleman to exchange. The real thing that sold me was the ability, was seeing the fees that Western Union charges for sending money abroad, and back in 2014, I was with another project that was doing charity work in Africa, and they were also amazed and creating tools to start a new BI project in Rwanda, where they developed a very early contract of a DeFi contract. It still works, but it was kind of janky. But it took this proposition of DeFi and exchanging money in between borders, and I really got hooked. Having my own bank, having the ability to send money to somewhere else in the world instantly. I mean, that sells it for me. The ability to pay someone in Africa, to send money abroad. I think the financial system would benefit a lot. Then, as we get deeper and deeper and deeper in these tokens, they all propose different things, and you can start to form your own team of which one will do the best. The great thing about these contracts is that they cannot change. I mean, once you submit the contract, you cannot change a letter. If you change a letter you can't. But if you could change a letter in the contract, it would break the old system and it would not run. So I think it's important that people know why they feel crypto is important to them, and I explained it why I think it was important for me. For me to see behind, to see beyond, to see will it have success? Will it be successful? And my thinking is seeing how it could exchange. That thing in Africa, exchange hands in Africa so quickly, or I could send you to Felly $50 right now, and I wouldn't pay a dime. 50 Banker X, well, it might be more than $50, but okay.
No, but I think that you made a good point there, right? Because if we were to do this like through the banking system, wiring and transfers, we paying $29 and stuff like that. I mean, one of the biggest things I love about being on the Bankroll system is that it's the Tron Link network, so the fees are minimum. Transaction fees, what is it, 0.1 TRX? I mean, we were talking about rolling and claiming where it's about 8 TRX. 8 to 10, depending on if you have enough energy or you don't have energy or you have bandwidth or whatever it is. It can kind of fluctuate. But that's nothing. I mean, someone says like, for me to go from Coinbase to go to you and do this, it would have cost me $11 US. That's like 10 Banker X.
I think when people start understanding the crypto world, they also start to hear the whispers and thuds of little coins and the little projects, and they start making their own judgments based on those comments. And for me, that project that I was a part of a small part of in Rwanda, they worked on Ethereum, so the fees were not that high, but they were $3, $4 or something. So
it's $3, $4. That's significant. And don't get me wrong, I have Ethereum. We all should have some, I think all of us in a good portfolio of cryptocurrency should have a piece of all of them. Ethereum, Balancer, or this, or Bitcoin and stuff like that. And I actually have someone here that says Money Lab representing is a couple of friends of mine who we all started with day trading and stocks and stuff. And then some of them are like, ooh, we're starting to get into some of the Coinbase stuff. We're starting into this. I was like, there's this thing called Bankroll. And I'm not telling you that it's the best thing ever. I'm just telling you that I'm in it and I'm enjoying it. That's all you need to know.
Yes, for me was a very big step moving to Tron, because sometimes those whispers that you hear in the crypto space are so damaging to yourself, most of all, because you should not choose your coins or choose what you should not have someone make the choices for you. And for me, seeing the fast transactions of Tron, the low fees, it was and the ability to play, to use it. I mean, most of all, to use it. I mean, in Ethereum, you can buy and sell. That's before Uniswap. So you can buy and sell. The token did transfer those values. So I mean, you were transferring value. Bitcoin, you can buy and sell. Well, with Tron, you can play poker. I mean, that's great. I mean, I like it. I like playing poker with Tron. So why can't I use Tron to play? And I saw a lot of little games popping up in Tron and allowing me to use.
I knew you liked that river card. I always knew you liked the river card.
I mean, I like using it. I don't like just buying and selling it. I think it's really boring. Just you always end up wrecked. You always get up wrecked trying to buy and sell and listening to the news and picking another project. And sometimes you just want to play poker. And that's how I got into Tron and start learning more about these dApps that are not based on some old game like poker or blackjack or something. More are different. And I got curious and I got into the whole deposit. Some get some back in the days. It was that was a lot of Ponzi's, but it was entertaining back then. So a lot of people make money. I didn't, but I got entertained by it. So one thing, I didn't lost it all. So
yeah,
I mean, you played.
I think Tron's definitely got like one of the most diverse, like what you can do with it, like sort of like get involved with dApps or get involved with Bankroll, or you can bet on it. You can bet on live sport now. You can do whatever really with it. But
Yes.
I mean, Ethereum
there
was
are
good as
new
well,
contracts coming out all the time.
Yeah,
and I think the usability is very good. But people always think don't use Tron. Justin Sun is a scammer. He copy pasted the code. It sucks. And you go into it and you're like, yeah, I don't think this is really good. But seeing for yourself without listening, without caring about those whispers and those rumors, you just understand it works. I mean, it's not the greatest private coin. It's not the fastest. It's not the cheapest. It's not. But for its own use case, it works. And I think people, the price movement of Tron is really hindered by these rumors. But they're keeping the price low for everyone, so who cares? When I say, it hurts me a lot when people doubt Tron and don't see for themselves how they could benefit from Tron, and then how can they benefit by not fudding, by not listening, by trying out themselves and seeing, well, it might be centralized, it might be run by a Chinese corporate media as they think. But you can send me, and in a second, you can send me a value that you're not sending in Ethereum. And Ethereum dApps are being built on Tron. So I think you should do your own research always. And maybe you see something that someone doesn't see. Like in your line of work, let's see, for example, if you work in the pharma industry and you see some coin that's doing something that you can see as an application in pharma, that's the coin for you. I mean, you're seeing something that someone else isn't. And if you're looking for coins that someone sees for you, and you're gonna get wrecked because you don't believe in it. So I think Tron has bad rep, but Bankroll is I think it's moving Tron forward. I think it's keeping the price steady. As crazy as that seems, I think many people are buying Tron because of Bankroll now, and the numbers show that.
Yeah, well, there's like 30 million in the whole of Bankroll contracts now, isn't there? Which I think when I first joined,
it must be more than that, more than 20 million now. But yeah, in the old weak ecosystem, probably that, because, well, I don't know, but I think it's more than that. But it's a great thing we are doing for them, and they're doing for us.
I know, because when I first joined, there was probably about 7,000 or 8,000 accounts, or around that number. And there was like 1 or 2 million in it. You've been in it longer than me, haven't you? So how many were sort of involved when you first got in it?
I don't know. I mean, there are some people that have been here since forever. I think I've been here since it's not the first, maybe the second contract, but people come and go, and that's fine. I think what's important now is seeing that we are definitely twice the size that we were before Flow, twice the size before then, and we are constantly evolving and growing. And the new people coming are welcome, as they have been here for forever. And I think it's the growth has been exponential, just like the price. Like that.
Yeah.
Yeah, sorry. It was just, I was looking at it because, someone's saying, download the app but haven't invested yet. I mean, I usually use like the Clever app and stuff. I find it has the most functionality. And then and it's always important to know that these two are two different things. What is it? There's something called the TRC20 token. I don't know if you can see that. And then there's ERC20, which are usually like the Ethereum ones. So the Ethereums have ERC. The Tron ones have TRC20. There are some TRC10s, but we're not going to talk about it. But it's important to know, like, one's based on, you cannot deposit a TRC to an ERC. You do that, forget it. You're lost. It has to be the same. It has to be the same one. It's like trying to say I'm going to buy something in US dollars and they only accept euro. You can't. It's not going to happen.
Yeah, but the Clever wallet allows you to exchange, right? So if by buying Bitcoin, you can exchange it to Tron. So yes, and always if you're not sure, always do small amounts. Test it out with 10, 1, even 1. If it doesn't work, you find out why it didn't work with 1. Because if it doesn't work with 1, maybe it won't work with 10, or 100, or 12.
Or ask somebody who knows. I mean, almost one of the other things I've had with Clever Wallet is that you have to enable the BankerX token, because it's by default, it's not enabled in the BankerX. I mean, it's still there. So even if you transferred and you don't see, oh my God, it's gone. It's still there. You just have to go and make it visible. Because if you go into the Bankroll website, you'll see that it's there. You just cannot see it in your wallet.
Yeah.
So
I always tell people to when transaction does work, make sure you save the addresses as you go. So like on Binance, I've got like all my friends and family, I've got their addresses saved, so I know exactly who I'm sending it to, and I know if it's worked before.
I don't think you can see, but see that on my ceiling. It's not paint. It's basically a bunch of numbers of a bunch of addresses, because I've run out of paper. There's not enough paper in the world, so it's just addresses there up on the ceiling.
The addresses are kind of like our names. There are some addresses that you look and like bank teller. Oh, TPMR. That's bank teller. Yeah. TUBA. That's the flow contract. So right now, people can know the addresses like they know someone's name. Probably I know some addresses in my mind from some people, and I think that's well, just the start of it. So
at least I just remember the last 4 Rex 4E, M9IX, stuff like that. Just the last couple ones, CBG. Just the ones in the end. Because if not, I mean, then all of a sudden your address book becomes this really long address book. You know,
but always double check where you're sending it. Always confirm the first ones and the last ones, and then confirm it again, and then you're sure, and you send it.
Yeah.
And that's a good rule to have.
And then send a small
don't
amount,
rush it.
unless
Yes.
you're doing it ETH.
Yes, I stopped using it some time ago. Some very long time
I still
ago.
have it. I still have it. You know, every once in a while, there is every once in a while. I was like, oh, I'm so
Yes.
frustrated with the system. I'm gonna start using ETH, and then in 20 minutes, like, oh,
Yeah, that's
Yes.
why I stopped using this system.
I'm gonna go back. I'm gonna go back.
Hopefully it will change, but you know there are other coins that do better work. There's no need to wait for it to do it. I
Yep.
think there's a lot of new projects there that can bring that functionality. Like I said, to let the coins do whatever they do. There's other projects that are improving on that, and I think that's healthy.
Yeah,
And I'm not a speculator, but if I was, I wouldn't bet it to change very soon. So there's
I would have loved to have seen
other
the
horses.
I would love to have seen the bankroll side on ETH like take off, but
It was very lucrative because of the Uniswap airdrop. So
yeah,
but it was the same, just more expensive fees. It was really
It's the
different.
fees. I mean, I remember thinking of the Uniswap because I remember it was a liquidity provider for Uniswap, and you know, oh, roll and comes like, why? I lose like a half of my thing to doing that. There's just no way, you know. And then by the time I claimed it, literally, I always say, it's like I lost $50 just taking it out, moving everything out. It's like, then I can't remember how much it was to put in. I want to say it was about the same. So did I really make anything out of it? I'm sure there was.
That's the beauty of Tron. You can use it, you can play with it, you can do whatever you want, and it's instant. And I think that's brilliant for beginners to understand how easy it is and how cheap it is. And when they see they can receive and exchange 100 TRX with their friends, they can send it abroad, and they can use, well, I'm not going to say the crypto.com card, but some sort of it, and use more on a day-to-day basis to exchange values.
It's so much more convenient because you know you can. There's been so many projects that have tried going over to Tron. Like I know there's Bankroll that tried going over to Tron, and that's kind of he said he's not done with it, but he's not doing anything with it at the moment. You've got Hank, which is the guy that made Tron Prime and Frag and stuff like that, and he tried putting Tron Prime over onto ETH, and then I don't think that really took off either, just because I think it was, even when the gas fees were low, it was still, I think, like $20 to get into the contract just to start. But with Tron, you can have $20, you can pay all the fees, and you can still have most of it in all the contracts still, and you can't really beat that. Like Ethereum just isn't. I just don't see it as.
It's a bigger gamble, but it can pay off because of the user base and the reach the Ethereum community has. I think there's some people who came from Ethereum to Bankroll, and I think it's good. And they saw the lights when they see, well, I'm gonna start using Tron. I don't like it, but the next day they're like, oh, this is cool. Oh, I didn't know about this Tron thing now. Why do people say bad things about this? And they start using it. So I think it's healthy to exchange these communities, I say. So
yeah, I think with, like, ETH definitely has a lot better potential to make gains. Like if you want to hold a coin which you think is going to go up in value, I think ETH is definitely better than TRX. But with TRX, there's more potential to have a stable income from it rather than ETH. So I feel like they are kind of separate, separate coins. Really,
yes, and you can have them both. You can have all of them.
Yeah.
No one says you can't. We start building something here. In the DeFi ecosystem is very young still, and there's a lot of room for growth for every competitor to do whatever they want, and new platforms are emerging. I heard like Binance Chain has some kind of projects there. I mean, I gotta check it out. I don't know, but I really want to emphasize that Bankroll is using Tron as a tool, and that's key. We like it, and everyone likes it, but it's a tool. And if in the future if there's another tool that's better, maybe Bankroll should use it. So we're not diehard. We're not gonna die in Tron, and
No. Well, the beauty of Bankroll is that he can take it to whatever, really, can't he? So just like he did with the Ethereum side of it. Yeah, talking about Binance, did you see that release they did about with Blink? I think it's Blink and Wink with the and it absolutely tanked.
No, I heard them talking about it in Twitter, but I really don't follow Binance because they spam my feed all the time, and I don't like it. They're always spamming like, we get it, you have an internal exchange. It's boring. I don't like it. I like the DEX. I like the decentralized exchange. I think it works a lot better than the centralized ones. Let me have the coins and trade it with someone else. If you guys have the coins, then I just don't feel safe. And I think the whole ecosystem starts benefiting a lot when decentralized exchange hit the market. Uniswap and some like Aurora DAO that are decentralized, and centralized exchange are on their way out, basically. So, and with the increasing regulations, I don't want anything to do with them. But I'm not in the US, and I don't pay taxes where I live, so that's about it.
So that's
I like having.
It's a big thing on the news now, where now the U.S. Treasury is saying that cryptocurrencies and stable coins can be accepted by the banking system. So that's.
I mean, I'm not a financial expert, but that's really good. But that's just a way of them saying that we are going to use it for our own benefit, but we don't like crypto, but we're going to use it.
Because they're printing, right? Because they're printing, right? I mean, basically, U.S. dollars, like most of the stuff of U.S. dollars, is printing. They're their Banker-X. That's the printable Banker-X, right? I mean, the only what's the other thing I saw in the news was XLM Ukraine. They're looking out about using it in terms of the government's thinking about using it, or they're doing some kind of deal. I don't know the details of it, but it just seems like it's getting more accepted by different governments. So, we talked about China earlier, and we talked about TronLink. It's like, most of this, China seems to manufacture most of the stuff out there in the not only in the U.S. but in the world. So it just kind of does manufacture TronLink in some way, So.
I mean, cryptocurrency is far from not being accepted. I think some people don't accept the volatility of it, and that's fine. That's also good that some people are not in it for the volatility and are into the use cases. And when I explain cryptocurrency, I like to explain the usability side of it, not the value aspect. But because I think the value aspect of it kind of blinds people for it, because they only see the value go up and down. And I like to explain some use cases, like one that I used a lot, and I back then and I still use now, is the ability of tracking and manufacturing. And there was a scandal in China where they were doing fabricated milk. It was counterfeit milk for children, and they had no way of tracking which of the milk was counterfeit and which wasn't, and a lot of children ended up dying. And what they then started to do is attributing QR codes tracked on the blockchain for each batch of milk they did. So then when the authorities came to see if your milk was counterfeited or not, they just scan the code, and if that code is not on the blockchain, then it's counterfeit. I mean, it's a very good use case for these kinds of tokens, and now we're seeing it rise with the NFT mania, where people are minting their own their own art and printing unique goods and collectibles, and digitalizing our way of living, our way of creating, and not just speculating on the Bitcoin price going up 30% and buying a Lambo. And it's like a gateway. Bitcoin is a gateway drug to a whole different world.
Yeah.
And I think it's healthy for everyone to understand that it's the 21st century and these things are happening right now, and I think it's good.
I mean, the thing that scares people is that, you know, that the volatility, you know, they talk about the price volatility. It's like, oh, I can't have it get US dollar. Actually, there are stable coins. You know, there's a reason why people have stable coins. You know, those stable coins are pegged to that price. I was like, well, can I change this? I mean, there's always fees when you're moving back and forth, but there's no reason why you can't have a stable coin and get into a different coin, ride the waves of up and down as they sometimes do, and then, well, you know what? I want to get off and get back on the stable coin.
Yeah, this is like right now the volatility in Bitcoin. You know, the more people that get involved with it, you know, that will start to calm down, like with any market, like any new company or anything like that. But the more people that get involved, you could buy Bitcoin at a lower price, you know, in a dip or whatever, and then just leave it. And later on, you could have it. You could have had it at that cheap price, and then it could settle above that, and you've made a decent profit. Or, like you said, you can get involved with stable coins. Like you got USDT, you got TUSD, you got the Binance one, haven't you? The BUSD, I think, and then there's loads. And I always say to my friends, like, if you want to, you can just leave it into the stable coins, and you've still got it in there. You don't need to worry about it.
I think some people like the aspect of Bitcoin, but they are more into the tech. They are more into the use cases. They are more into bringing adoption, and maybe Bitcoin isn't for them. And I think it's fine. Maybe Bitcoin for investors or for people who are evangelists, Bitcoin evangelists. I think they do a great job of fighting the FUD and the non-believers, because I think that's good. But bringing back to Bankroll again, so let's talk about the Banker. Banker has been a huge news lately, because we went from a no use case for only stock stronghold to holding to selling, and now people are buying. It's going crazy, and I have something to say about it that I think about it in my car ride here. I'm gonna share it in a bit, but what are your guys' strategies now with Banker? Sticking only with Banker or Banker X, or with Banker also?
I'm gonna be. I did sell my Banker for more Banker X, and a few of my friends did that as well. But then I felt really guilty, and I bought some back straight after I did that. So I actually did that to make more money, and then I spent more money. But yeah, I think with what BT's done with the Stronghold contracts, and the fact that you've got the airdrops that link into Stronghold, I think hold as much Banker as you can. Like I want to build up my position in it again, and then still hold my position that I've got in Banker X. I think that's what I'm going to be doing.
Yes. I think what's your, Felix? What's your strategy? I heard you sold 50-50, but what are your thought process on that?
No, my thought process is the same. It's all about positioning. You know, people talk about pump and dumps, but I just get positioned. You know, and look and see how it's going, and it went. You know, okay, well, it seemed like people were going to dump on farms, so it's like, okay, well, I sold everything I had. I took everything out of stock and I sold it. Price went down as expected as people were selling it, and then I bought back in again. I got a good discount. And so, but that's, you know, and that's what I understand, you know, when people talk about playing a game or something like that, you're just playing with positions, you know, whether you're, you know, in the end goal, yes, I will keep Banker. But it also depends, you know, it's like, well, you said you were going to keep it. It's like, yes, but also you have to adapt, right? You have to keep adapting. The one who wins is not the one who has the most. The one who wins is the one who adapts the most. So sometimes it seems like a good idea now, but then the market changes. You got to flow with the market. You got to roll with the punches. You know, you got to kind of do that. Okay, this is going to change a little bit for right now. I still feel use. I'll sell it, buy it, sell, buy. I mean, it still stays within the ecosystem, but you know, I would say ideally, yes, I will be taking some Banker. We said it in the beginning, right? Where were you when Banker was 3 TRX, right? So
Well, I wrote it down to 0.81
0.8.
TRX. It was 0.8, and then the next day it went like to 5 or something. Just like the last day I sold, I gotta take my losses. I gotta cut my losses. I cut my losses, and I should have done the other way. So,
but it's okay. I mean, you can hold it. I mean, that's what Stronghold is about. You can hold it. It's like, well, can't that happen with Banker X? It's like, nope, it cannot happen with Banker X because it's all locked in flow. Well, not all. There's still last time I saw on SwapX had like 3 million of liquidity of it on that. So there's a lot of liquidity still in there and stuff. So there's still some out there.
And it's growing. Yeah, it's growing. I think right now with Banker X, I think we are maturing a bit in with the token because weekends have sold. We almost did like a full reset now where the token is. There was a lot of speculation regarding if it's going to be useful, it's not going to be useful, what happened. Some diehard fans sold, some diehard fans didn't sell, and that's fine. And my thoughts, my thought process now is as follows. So right now, Banker token is all mined, are 21 mined, and is a really low price. With the new calculations and APY on Stronghold, I think we are seeing a good buying time because those kinds of APYs without impermanent loss are really good. So with more people buying into Stronghold, they are not actually buying Banker for themselves. So
right.
So I think there's an opportunity there to be the one who holds the Banker, because the more that's the trade you make. You get into Stronghold, but you don't own the tokens. So you're riding the price, but you're not gaining. It's like sort of a speculation because you hope the price goes up. In that strategy, because the APY drips and feeds everyone in the contracts and such. So Stronghold doesn't really require price increase to pay out. But as more people join, almost like flow, the price will continue to rise. But in this case, the Banker, I don't know. I still have to inform myself what happens when you enter the Stronghold. Does the Stronghold buy the Banker for you and hold him in himself? And when you sell your Stronghold position, it sells it into the liquidity pool. Because
isn't it just pegged 1-to-1 with Banker?
It's pegged 1-to-1, and then flow when you claim yes. Deposit or you roll, it buys back Banker. It buys back, I think it's 5%. It buys back Banker at 5%. Yeah. So then really by buying it back, it provides.
So you're actually the owner of those tokens, I'd say.
Exactly.
The contract keeps them for you.
Exactly.
So you keep that's also good.
I mean, Stronghold is a good, I mean, I think Bank Teller said it once. Stronghold is the go bag. Stronghold is a place, is like you have an emergency, that's the last one you want to pull out. Right?
Yeah.
Because that's the one, and that's, I mean, there's a fee going in and there's a fee going out. But it's really your go bag. This is, hey, I have something, I needed to use this. It's like, okay.
Yes, it's also healthy. Now I realize that the more people up the price on Strongholds, they do not really own the tokens. So let's say in the case of Banker X, well, let's keep it with Banker. 80% of the liquidity is in Stronghold, because it keeps buying and keeps buying, because it's the right place to hold the token, because it accrues dividends and has a good APY and such. So 80% is locked in the Stronghold. Who can sell? Well, you can sell your position and lose, or if you need, if you need to withdraw from Stronghold, you sell your bag of Banker, because the Banker those 80% are locked, 20 are not. And when you sell this banker of the 20% that you have, you're not hurting your gains in the liquidity. So by having low circulating supply and keeping both positions in play, it allows you to benefit from, if you need your go back, instead of selling and losing further gains, you keep that banker that it's everyone likes the token that accrues gains because who doesn't? You buy it at 10, you sell it at 15. And in Stronghold you have almost guaranteed play of earning more in dividends. And I think this is the right play, having both. And I think this 80% that's going to be locked in Stronghold, it will strengthen the price. Mm-hmm. But the real owners of banker, the real wealthy, let's say, in banker, are those who keep the tokens for themselves. Because when Stronghold sells, it lowers the price, and then you have to go and get it again. So no one is going to sell from Stronghold to buy from swap, let's say. Yeah. See what I'm getting. So there might be a point that the price is so high, it's higher. Well, let's say it's so high that only people who have a banker are going to be able to reap the rewards. Because let's say if BT comes with a new contract or a new use case, or I think Stronghold is fine. I think it only needs that for now, and maybe for the future it will ride out the price, and it has a use case. Like I said, the important thing in crypto is use cases. If you have a use case here, why try to speculate on something that might not work, or something that has no use case is boring for me. So a Stronghold is in itself, it's starting to become a nice small fund and small bag that one can benefit also. And there were a lot of contracts like this. Most of them were similar to this. So I think for now, with the new calculations in APY, it shined a new light on me. It might be something that might be worth pursuing, because in the future, when we are at our convention, or in 1 to 2 years, we have accumulated more banker. We are 1%, 5%, 10% owners of banker, and those are the ones who are going to be at the table when the platform rises. Because for 2 years it has been a crazy ride, but there's no signs of stoppage. So one thing we might do, or not we might do, but I was thinking, it's developing private chains that use. If we migrate, let's say Bankroll migrates to Cardano or with Polkadot, doesn't matter. So some other chain, we can. With Polkadot, it would be crazy, because Polkadot allows you to. I'm not really informed on this, but Mike, correct me if I'm wrong, but allows you to link chains and connect, let's say, for example, Tron with Ethereum, and then you can create, let's say Tron with Cardano, and exchange banker in Tron to banker in Cardano, but only if you're already a holder of banker. So as the token matures itself, there's no need to start another one. This is it. I mean, we have Banker X and Banker. Those are it. It's a really important thing in crypto. That's the history of the token. And that chart that you're showing here shows our history. And for some, that if you don't have this price history, they don't want to enter, because new projects prove very risky. They have to mature. So I think Banker and Stronghold, now we are in a really good position to be looked at again. I was on the back foot, and I thought maybe sell, get a Banker X. Now I'm seeing after this reset, everyone clear their minds. What do I think that's the future for Banker? And I think I made myself clear that it's not something to just give up, because it might prove very rewarding in the future.
Yeah.
One stacking Banker at a time.
Yeah. I mean, I think we're still in we're still in the very, 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 very early stages. Like, you ever hear the people saying it's like, oh, I feel like I'm too late. Like, it's too late. There's so many people already on. And it's like, no, we're in the baby stages. We're in the early stages. This is when, this is the most important part. It's like kids. It's like, this is when you start you got to really nurture the system. That's why, when people's like, well, why do you just say roll? Because keep rolling. You got to let the system grow. You got to let it, you have to kind of go into it. I don't care if you only join with $10, $5, $20, $15, just let it roll in there. Just let it sit in the system and roll, and it will come out. And if it doesn't come out, then then all you put in was 5, 10, 15, 20, or whatever it is. I mean, always make sure that invest whatever you're comfortable with. It should, never bet your mortgage. I think we've already said it a million times.
Yes.
That's what you're comfortable in.
It's mostly for entertainment and for doing something that you like, and you learn and you meet new people and learn from your mistake. Pay your stupidity taxes on Ethereum and come here and welcome home. I mean, the ride has been great for many people, and many people are enjoying from day one, and that their first day, and they're enjoying themselves and meeting new people, finding new hobbies, and I think it's a great tool for everybody.
Personally, I've found Bankroll to be it's been really good for me. Like I've improved my position in crypto massively just through Bankroll. Just by following the advice that BT was putting out there on Telegram and following his podcast that he did on Spotify, my position in Bankroll is strong now because I've just followed the trend that everyone's been doing. But I've also been thinking about it for myself. Like, I stayed in Stronghold, and I've built up that position. I did sell all my Banker. Most of that I actually bought loads of Banker X, and then I actually took my TRX out of TronScan and I put that all in Stronghold. Mm-hmm. So now what I do is I take most of my TRX out of the Stronghold and stockpile contracts to use for fees, and I just roll everything up. So I personally think holding some Banker is a good idea, because as BT keeps saying, it's that's going to be the store of value for the platform in the long run. And then you're going to have the Banker X token, which I imagine he's going to bring out new contracts for the Banker X token. But everything will feed back to Banker, I imagine.
Yeah, well, I think Banker has a really good track history now, and a really good use case. So, well, Banker X is its own monster, but right now, yeah, I think I've been here since almost 1 year and change, and I must say that until now I didn't make a lot, but I learned a lot, and I have a lot of fun, and I meet a lot of new people, and I had something to.
Are we going to retire in poverty? We're going to retire in poverty, aren't we?
But
we're not. It's like we don't have to be rich. We're just enriched, right? Enriched.
Yes, I think people misconstrue the whole entertainment purposes only, because I think life is about that. It's about entertaining and about doing something that you like. And of course, you have to work for a living. Of course, you have to feed your family, but you also have to do things that you enjoy doing. And I think if you enjoy, there's no shame in being in Bankroll and saying and be truthful. Yeah, maybe I lost money. Why did you lose money? So you don't lose again. But if you're yeah, I think what Crypto Buddy says, some people are doubling down. I think Bankroll is a great leader, and I think I always thought that because even in the room full of in the Telegram room full of chats and sheets and whatever, there's always room for listening and reading what BT says. Even in a thousand messages, let's see what BT says. And I think it's great that people listen to him because he really gives great advice. He's a great leader to the platform. He's a humble person. He's an honest person, and most of all, crypto and these projects need a leader behind them, and someone like him that supports his own community and likes to see his baby grow. And right now, I think he will do much more for us that he has done, that he's already done, and that's great. That some people take longer to follow his advice because they question the man. I've been here since a year and a half, and I know when I question the man, I always lose money. So don't question the man. Just do what he says. Trust me. He knows. He knows. You, at the end of the day, you're gonna realize that he was talking sense. He was talking sense into you, and I was always yeah, I always I when the role came out, I back in the contract, I never trusted it, but there was a contract that was the daily plus or the daily. I don't remember which one was. There were two daily plus, one daily, so one of those. And he told, don't climb, roll, don't climb, roll. And I always climbed because I always thought what everyone thought that I'm gonna lose money. But at the end of the day, after 5 months or 6 months, if I had been rolling, I would have won bigger. And that's I think the competitive aspect of these games are how can I win? How can I win? And how can I win big? And that's strategy, and that I think that's the entertainment that brings me to invest so much amount of my time in it, and it's this competitive aspect of figuring out if I'm doing what I can do better. How can I predict what's going to happen next? And sometimes it costs me a lot of money because I don't listen to the ones who know what they're talking about, and that now I have learned. I have paid my stupidity taxes, and I'm an evangelist, a bankroll evangelist now.
Stupidity taxes.
I don't know. But, it's also good. I mean, you can design the best system in the world. You can design the best system in the world, but you really do need adoption. You need to have the mass adoption, because without the mass adoption, even the best system will not do well. And really, what do we do? Because you and I know this, and and this, and all of us, we talk about it, but we really have to be able to talk to the people that that don't know anything about it. I mean, how often do we have to explain? How is this not a Ponzi? How do you convert money into this? How do you take money back into the system? It's a constant question, and it's important to know that for them, this is the first time. So we may be tired of the questions, but really, what are we looking for? To have new people get familiar with the system. That's why I invite them. It's like, look, just even don't put it, just join the Discord or join the Telegram. Just join and find out. If for some reason you don't like what something says, just ask us and stuff like that. But just look and see what's going on. Ask some questions around. Be familiar with the system. I mean, how many times do they say, read the white paper, read the white paper, read the white paper? But when you haven't really, when you don't speak the language yet, the white paper may seem like, what is all this? So really, it's just a little bit of, just have a little patience. In the end, the more people join in, the better we all do anyways. We can be fighting about the 1% or 2%, but really, if it 10x's again and it 10x's again, the only way you're going to do that is having more people join. So
I think that's a good thing. That's a good thing if you talk about. People are always focusing. Oh yeah, sorry. Now I remember what I wanted to ask you all a question. So we've seen the 10x, right? We see the 10x. Will we see the 2x from now? Just 2x. So are we gonna see 80? So last stream I talked with Felix. He was talking about the price that was like a straight line, and I explained to him that it was exponential, and I've been thinking about that ever since. Because one thing that I think is also exponential is the number growth, the player growth. I think it starts out slow, but then exponentially gets higher and higher. And even with the 10 banker X requirement minimum, I think we are still exponentially growing. And I think if we look at it on an exponential scale, I think the 2x is possible, and maybe even more than that.
I think it's possible. I mean, also, sometimes the price can be scary for certain people, right? I mean, because, think of it this way. If let's say it does 10x, let's just say, or even let's just say it does 20x or 2x, I'm sorry, 2x. For some, that's a lot of money to put all at once for one thing, and it could be kind of scary. It's like, hey, could this hurt adoption? Because now it's a higher price to get in. I mean, because Bitcoins is extremely expensive to get one Bitcoin, but no one buys one Bitcoin. They buy pieces of it, right? You buy pieces, and eventually you increase your position within the coin. So, I mean, and that's just a part of the system. But that's something that can be discussed later. Because what do we care about? Adoption.
Yes, I mean, you can correlate it with Bitcoin in a sense that. There were people who made buy it at 10 cents. They sold it at $1. So by selling at $1, they allowed more people to enter, and so forth. So mostly the flow contract allows you to ROI in dollar value. I think that's great. I think you enter with a price point in mind, and you come out with the number of tokens that you accrue. Thinking about the same people who are selling now at 1 are allowing, and keeping the price stable, by the way, are allowing people to enter. And the people who didn't sell at 1 are not going to sell at 110, 112, 120, 130. Maybe some will sell at 2. That's fine, but some won't. And that keeps just doubling and doubling. And you now have someone like Satoshi, in the case of Bitcoin, that holds 1 million Bitcoin.
Yeah.
Well, that's possible. I mean, if it's possible for Bitcoin, it's possible for Banker, for Banker X. The number doesn't really. I mean, that's like saying those people that do. Well, if Banker X was at $30, then I would be a trillionaire. You kind of would. So don't sell it. So don't be short-sighted.
Yeah, and the other thing is about the prices, because someone's like, oh, I'm late. The price has gone up so much. I'm late for this, and it's like, are you late to make 365% of what you started with?
Exactly. I mean, people are.
If you claim, that's if you claim every day and not just roll. If you roll, that percentage, that compounding interest gets much higher. So it depends. Are you late to get what someone calculated? If you were to compound every day, if you were just to roll every day, at the end of a year, it would be what I think it was like 3,700% interest. And hey, this is unrealized gain. And it's understanding, because the other question was like, oh, do I after the end of the year, can I just take it all at once? Like, no, that's not true. At the end of that, and then the time you're looking at your max payout, and whatever you claim, you subtract from your max payout. So you're going to claim until your max payout. It may take you a year. It may take you 3 months. It may take you a week. It may take you 5 years. But that's until you. In the meantime, just keep rolling, and that max payout will increase, and the amount that you can claim will increase. So that's what, when I talk about what's your goal, is like, is your goal $10? And you just probably 10x when somebody put in behind you. So
well, no one here I mean, if people are saying, are you late? Am I late? I'm late. You guys already 10x. I didn't 10x. I'm in flow. My money is locked. I mean, my tokens are locked. Everyone's tokens are locked. No one was buying at 4 thinking like it's gonna 10x in 2 months.
No.
I mean, we are playing, and so some investors are seeing the numbers and are thinking, I'm late. Well, I mean, are you playing? Are you even playing? I mean, if there's an opportunity for everyone, but if people the game alone without the 10x and the 40x doesn't. We started playing. We didn't care about price appreciation. I even told a friend that we might be worried about price because I think it's gonna dump. So I didn't foresee this price increase. It's good that brings new people in and see the growth and see that there's a adoption of the token. But the selling point is the APY and the mechanics that the game brings us. And if everyone thinks like this, the price is gonna go up. I mean, no one can predict. If we could. I predicted at 32. We are at 40. I'm gonna check if I'm a little bit more wealthy. See.
I think we're at 39.5, 39.6, something like that, right?
Yeah, well, it's just had a little spike. It's just gone from 115 up to 122 or something.
Oh my God! So people
we're
are saying
not far off. We're not far off hitting $2 really. Like what? We're 80 cents away, and we saw. I think it was a 40-cent jump when we first saw Bankroll hit $1. There's if you've been looking at the amount of people that are involved in the Bankroll contract, it is going up so fast, and it just shows you. It just showed, like I remember that figure being like 8,000, 9,000. It's like 10 months down the line. It's what we're over 60,000 now. And that's just
there was an example I want to bring, and I want to do this use case. I will do a small guide for about this use case, but I'm going to explain it. There was a guy. I mean, he was adventure traveling in rural places, let's say. So let's say you have you're one of those guys that likes adventures and have your van, a $10,000 van. You don't you travel around the world. You do digital nomad work on Fiverr or whatever. So that's a lifestyle, and I think Bankroll Flow is perfect for that. Why?
Yeah.
I mean, let's see this example. You have $10,000 spent on your van. I mean, that's an investment you make beforehand, so you can start living that lifestyle. You have your computer, a MacBook, and all those stuff. Why don't you set aside $1,000 for your banking expenses? Why? Let's see. So you take $1,000 and you invested. Let's say you invested in Flow. You invested $1,000 in Flow. You go on your marriage journey. Sometimes you have internet, sometimes you don't. But when the time comes, and you need to withdraw your money and use to pay for food, let's say you need $50. You log into your Flow account, and instead of having $1,000 in your Chase account or your Bank of America account, and you're withdrawing those $50, now you have $950. Then you go, instead you go to your Flow account and you have dividends. Let's say you have been out for 2 weeks. You have you can do the math. If you had $1,000, 1,000 tokens, whatever, $1,000, 2 weeks, that's 15 days, so you have $150. So you can literally take those $50 out, hold what you don't need to spend right away, and you keep now that $1,000 is $110. Okay, if you do a week from now again, you will instead of 155, you will have 165. So it allows you to have a constant cash flow that your lifestyle requires, because you don't need $1,000 in a day living in a van. Maybe you need 50 1 week and 50 or more. You can plan ahead, and it allows you besides allows you to access your money anywhere in the world, because there's no central authority saying that you cannot withdraw, you can't withdraw, that's your money, you have to pay $5 fee, and it's all a hassle. And since you live a nomad lifestyle anyways, fuck the banks, right? Well, see, that it's a great way to use the Bankroll as a tool in the real world, because in 3 months you will have your 1,000 back, but in reality, since you don't need 1,000, the lifestyle you live, you have been growing and reinvesting and growing that position, and solidifying your checking account. When you need it, you claim it. If you need 2 days from now, you plan ahead and you claim and claim. And I think people are afraid that having $1,000 in their banking account is better than having $100,000 in flow. And I think $1,000 in flow is in this use case is more beneficial, because I mean, the banks are not going to give you 1%. They're not going to even care about you. And that $1,000 is the survival, not survival, but day-to-day shopping expenses. And if you plan ahead, you can recycle this value and this money for your lifestyle. I think more people should. I think that's a really good use case for him. I think he told me he lived in a van, and I thought, wow, that lifestyle is great with flow. Oh my God! Because
and I was going to say one thing that you talked about use cases is that you definitely have to plan, because it's not saying I'm going to take flow out now to buy something in 30 minutes.
Yes, you have to plan ahead, and it's great. It's math. You know how much you're gonna earn in 2 days, 3 days. Just do the math. It's not and it's not hard math. It's 1%, times 0.01 of your total deposit. That's the amount they're gonna get.
Yeah.
And in 2 weeks, if you 10x, if you 2x, great.
Yeah. There's a girl that I was helping get involved with Bankroll last week, and she was meant to go traveling in a van last year, but because of COVID, like, she can't go anywhere. And she went, I've got $2,000 to put in, and I was just like, you can. She's like, but I'm really unsure about it. I was like, well, how about this? I'll help you get set up, put 100 in, see how it's going, and you can play around with it. You can do what you want. And I sort of swung her towards flow, and I swung her towards stronghold. And then now she's just put in like another 1,500, and she was just like, "Oh, this is going to be amazing," because that's what she wants to do. She wants to go traveling in a van. So it's funny that you brought that up.
It's great. It's great to think about the same account. You can have multiple accounts, let's say, and you can plan ahead on your expenses. And in this case, the van, you know you're going to spend $10,000 on a van. You know you need to spend $1,000 on your laptop. Whatever. Different people, different budgets, but you need to have money in hand. And money. When I say money in hand, well, you need to have money in hand, because sometimes you need to buy stuff at the moment, and that's not what I'm saying. I'm saying some people can use flow as a setup to earn these checking balances every day. I think what she sees, I think it's great, because those $2,000 that she has saved up for the trip are not her entire financials. They're not her money. So yes, she might have money for different things, and she has $2,000 that she's gonna keep for emergencies, but she's not gonna need, not for emergencies, but day-to-day things. And in flow, it can prove very beneficial.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. I mean, and on that aspect, I mean, we talk about real world things. I mean, that's why another, I'm gonna have to get clever to put me as spokesperson, because I just like the functionality of it. But how Travala, that you can buy things through Travala and stuff like that. So that's you can make hotel stays, you can make reservations, you can buy the stuff.
Yes.
To me, I just like, it's like, why don't you like TronLink? It's like, I actually started with TronLink. But then I had to go through either Atomic Wallet, or I had to go somewhere else to convert it to TRX. But with this, I mean, Ethereum dApps, I can get access through it, through the Clever. I can move stuff over. I can convert. I don't know if the fees are as competitive, but honestly, ease of use, to me, the ease of use where I can just do everything from one location and not to have back and forth, to me, it's worth the inconvenience. And I see a couple of the Spanish people are coming on. Buenos días, buenas tardes, buenas noches, depende donde el mundo esté. So I see a couple of people from the HISPA buddies and the international buddies and the other Telegram and all of the ones, all the team. We say, what do they tell me? It's like the first among. It's like, I'm not anyone's boss. It's like, well, you're the first among the equals. I think we're just all equals. We just happen to be, whoever's doing something, they're the big boss man. Earlier, Khalil, who I call him the whale of sweat equity, he's like, you're a jefe. He's like, I'm not a jefe. He's like, yes, you are. Right now, you're a jefe because I can't do the stuff that you do. I just look beautiful on camera. Shirts and stuff, and just profile style, and
That is different. I think it's great for everybody. I think that use case of some people setting aside some unused, not financially critical amounts, but trying out instead of depositing, keeping in the bank. If they have, I'm gonna say probably not a realistic scenario for everybody, but let's say they have been accruing, not the most financially savvy, but they have $10,000 in the bank. They're gonna drop $500 that they got at Christmas, and that probably won't make a difference because you already have 10,500. So, but it's a good number for me to say that those 500, you're not gonna use those 500 because you already have 10,000. You're gonna start digging for the first money that's around. So by using Flow, depositing $500 in Flow and not using it because you weren't going to use it anyway. So in this case, let's say you have $10,000 in the bank and you have $500. Instead of putting it in the bank and not using it, use it, put it in Flow, and don't use it, and come back to me after you rolled for 3 months.
Yeah.
And when you need it, because you already had you had your cushion of $10,000 that you used anyways. So when you come back to those $500 that you played with, come back to me and see how that investment turned out.
Yeah.
And I bet it's going to turn out pretty good.
So this is why.
Right there.
So I always say to people to, like, you got to try and just improve your volume. You don't worry too much about the price, just improve your volume for now. So improve how much Bankrex you own, improve how much Banker you have, and you just got to kind of look at that to start with.
Can you guys imagine the ceremonial it would be if we would still be at 40RX? We were like, it's going good, but these kinds of numbers brings the joy in us. But the numbers are the same. We were still making 500 Bankrex either way. So, but the number that is underneath that changed.
I mean, I like. Some people are like, I like the price where it's at. Right now, if it stays the same price, because of course, as roll claim, the elasticity of the coin, this is not a bad coin. This is not a bad number either. It's like saying, man, that euro dollar. I wish that euro dollar was worth more than $1. It should be more. The $1 should be worth more. No, it's a good entry point.
It's a good entry point. It's easy to relate. And like what King Kos said one stream before or something is, what if the price drops down to 1 again, 1 TRX again? Then we start all over again. So let's say everyone sold at 1 because they got their losses. Who has all the Bankrex? The contract. So let's write it again. So it only has Bankrex. Imagine a fictitious scenario. It was dropping vertiginously and it's 0. That means that the liquidity was all drained and the contract, the SwapX contract was full of Bankrex. I'm buying that, and I'm putting back into Flow again. And generating more and starting all over again. I think the longevity of it is
Should we answer a couple of these questions?
Yeah, and I was gonna say if
Sure.
si alguien quiere poner una pregunta en español la puede poner. And I was just saying if someone wants to put someone watching from the Spanish side, they want to put some questions in Spanish, it can also answer those. And that's one we actually talked. You were talking about earlier about what is the thought behind stockpile APY dropping? And it's like, well, hey, look, as the value of the coin actually appreciates, of course the APY's got to drop because it's the price of it is appreciating. So it's like it's increasing the value. So you don't need as much APY. That's a good thing. That means it's going up.
Yes, people that got in stockpile right now. I don't think it's a good time to enter stockpile per se, but I don't think it's a bad strategy either. I just think there are better options. It's definitely something that you can try out. But I mean, it's not like I like winning, and I like winning big where the money makes more money. But
I mean, it's like stack is a good option. Stockpile is a good option. Stronghold is a better option. Flow, great option.
Yeah.
There's not a bad option.
I'm in all except Stronghold because I'm still deciding if I should just buy Banker or keep it in Stronghold.
Leave it. Don't
I think I'm gonna be the 20% or 10% that actually owns the tokens, and then when you guys sell, I have it.
Just leave it.
When you guys need to buy, I won't sell. So
don't buy. It's all good.
We got another question there as well. So Bankroll USD price is suppressed by TRX inability to gain sats. Banker and Bankroll are TRX sponges. Everything in the top 20 is gaining on Bitcoin except for TRX and XRP.
Bankroll price is stable. I think it's performing very nice against the TRX USD price. But as we all know, Tron Networks suffers a bit of overabundance of tokens, and I think one thing that they're trying to do is try to burn more. But I mean, it proves me one thing that proves to me is that I don't want to make money in Bitcoin. If Bitcoin moves up, good. I want to keep I like seeing Tron price at 28 cents. It's just a mental thing for me because I know it's always on that range of 28 cents, 29, 20, 30. And when it got to 4, I was like, oh boy, let's go. Oh, it's going to fall. Oh, at 3. Oh, I don't care. I'm already used to it. But in Bankroll, we don't need to worry about that because you are making that TRX work for you. So even if TRX stays stable, you are earning more TRX by being in Bankroll. That's the gist of it. So, and most of Tron dApps are like that. You try to use the money to your advantage. But it's different coins, different use case scenarios, and the correlation is something that we cannot predict. But TRX working as a stable coin has been very beneficial for lots of reasons.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And the volatility. I mean, if something isn't that volatile, it brings people to join because that aspect is very sensitive.
And something I don't think we've ever talked about. You know, we talked about a little bit about stable coins. You know, there's the DAI, there's the Tether, there's USDC stuff. Yeah, I mean, there's several stable coins. There's also the stable coins on TronLink. They do have the Tether of TronLink, and they do have a couple other ones, the USDJ or so. So I mean, you can have a stable coin on the Tron network pegged, except the fees are much lower.
Yeah, you can also hold Bitcoin and Ethereum on.
Yeah.
You know, so I've got some TRX as Ethereum on. Well, it's kind of a placeholder, isn't it, on Ethereum? And
it's great though. It was like I don't know if you guys heard what Justin Sun said. He said I don't think it was announced or the live stream was posted in chat, but he did a small live stream a few days ago, and the interviewer said what is the thing that you think 2021 is going to bring to crypto. I mean, he's not brilliant. So, I mean, maybe if it was Vitalik, he would say something that we wouldn't understand. But what he said was I liked it a lot. It was the ability to use other coins in a different chain. So the ability to have Bitcoin in Tron and hold Ethereum in Tron. Well, you're not really holding it, but you're riding the price appreciation that you so much enjoy. And I think that's very, 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 very good right now.
I was giving the two fingers because I saw a couple people putting fingers. So those are part of the team that we all work for. I see Matt, George, and it's like, hey, I see you guys. You know, so it's yeah. My doubts go more to how Flow interact with the Bankroll ecosystem. That's a good, that's a good question. I mean, that's a good thing. I mean, because Flow, what does Flow do? Flow locked Banker X, right? Rolling, buying, claiming Flow, and of course, correct me if I'm wrong. What does that do? That buys back 5% goes to Stronghold and it buys back Banker. What does Stockpile do? Stockpile is the locked liquidity for the Banker X token. And also gives you the emissions and TRX for fees. So same as Stronghold does. And Stack, what do you do? Well, then say, hey, I got a bunch of Banker. I just want to, instead of just holding them in my wallet, I'm going to put it into Stack.
Stack. Oh my God, Stack. Oh guys, oh my God. I'm going to hold the biggest Stack bag ever. Oh my God, it's great.
See, he's got the governance token, right? He's gonna stack. He's like, yeah, I'm the director of the board right there. That's El Jefe. That's El Jefe right there. You know?
So I think they all work beautifully together. So and Flow increases the buy pressure on Banker X, and in turn, Stockpile gives more rewards because the price increases, and the stack becomes worth more. In Stockpile, and I think it's good that all these things work together, but they are not dependent on each other.
Right. Exactly. So I mean, I like Stack. Like I said, I had a better position before on Stack, but then to really once I saw what was going on, to how to make a couple moves here and there. But it's all about positioning. In the end, it's still in the ecosystem, and it worked out good. So. I know I've got about 5 minutes, guys. I got a couple things I got to get going. Of course, I've got Sleeping Baby here next to me, which is all good. It's just yeah, it's fine. It's good to know that conversations about Bankroll and stuff can put kids to sleep. No, I know. Forget about Bankroll story. Let's talk about Bankroll. Once upon a time, in the U.S., there's this story of sort of like there's a difference when you tell a fairy tale if you live in the North versus if you live in the South, right? In the North, you start as like once upon a time. In the South, you go, you ain't gonna believe this shit.
Just my friend's messaged me as well. He's asked me just to mention him. It's nothing to do with Bankroll, but he's going to be. It's to do with Hex, and he's going to be holding. They're doing like a Hex seminar thing. So if anyone wants to learn about Hex, go over to joehexotic.com. And if you want to learn about something else, then you can have a look at that. But
sure. So about predictions, when we're going to see the next stream. But predictions, price, players, news. About price.
Say Crypto Buddy, what'd you say?
April, $2.
No. April, no. So the next stream, how do you think the price is going to behave? So in a week, maybe 2 weeks. My thoughts. I think we're not far off 76. I think we're not far off.
Yeah.
I think more people got more excited about the 60 cent range than they did the dollar. So when we reach, I think $1.60 around that price mark of 76, people are going to be like, oh, buy. So I think it's not far off.
Like, when it went to like,
I'm not doing any technical analysis. I'm mentally, I have my own levels. So
you're living your dream. You're living your dream.
Yes, I have my Fibonacci. Actually, it's right there. So I am a true believer of the Fibonacci sequence, just not applied to
honestly,
financial market.
The biggest number, look, price is important and other stuff is important, definitely important. But what's the biggest number? The players. How many people we got? We're over 25,000. That's the biggest number. What's you know? So it's like, oh, well, what number should be next? 25,001. What about the next one? 25,002. You know, sometimes we look so far ahead that we don't look at the present. This is a big number right now. Let's continue. So, you know, one by one. One by one, you know, one by one is how you do it. One by one is how you grow. One by one is how you educate. One by one is how we all learn about it. And also just remember, sometimes, I mean, I haven't been in this long. I've only been in this for like 3 or 4 months. And sometimes it's like, you know, you're talking too fast or you're talking blah, blah. So it's like, in 3 or 4 months, you learn a lot. It's like, but just remember, there's plenty of people that don't know. When you start talking about wallets, it's like, what is a wallet? What do you mean a wallet? What's a wallet? Why can't I just put everything in my wallet? It's like, well, you can, but why can't I just do that? And so it's just kind of knowing that. What do you mean?
That's good. People asking questions is good.
What's this chain on the block? Is it talking about new kids on the block? It's like, no, it's blockchain. It's like, so then you have to, and you go like, I got to do this again. But it's okay. It's okay. It's important. Because if you really believe in it, then you will take the time to explain it. If you cannot take the time to explain it or educate, then no, don't do it.
No.
Yeah.
I think most people, like, if they do want to learn, just get involved with Telegram, Discord, whatever. Most people are pretty friendly to help you get set up anyway. So
yeah.
And there's great content on the YouTube. There's different kinds of entertainers that explain the system. Some are more funny, some are more technical, some are more wild, some are more bring on the show for people. I think everyone picks the creator they like best and go with it. Some people don't even realize they're in crypto at all. I mean, this is the Bitcoin thing. Oh, I didn't know.
Yeah, I mean, there's so many people that explain good. I mean, I've looked at the different videos where you got 3D crypto, crypto slow. You have LME crypto. It's almost basically like you're a different person who can get into it and give it a try.
So yeah,
I think he's either froze or has the best case of catatonia I've ever seen.
Okay, so price wise, next week, the winner gets 10 Bankroll extra.
Whoa! 50 TRX. Let's just go with TRX because we're like,
okay. I'm gonna say it's at 40.
It's at 40 already.
Should I write these down?
Yeah, 50-50.
Oh, it's gone again.
Yeah.
Do you want some peanut?
Ah, bueno. Comí.
Okay. So 76. I'm gonna go with 55 next week.
Sorry, that was my bad. I clicked on the. I'm trying to. There we go.
That's
I was going to turn on the light, but it's not working. I don't know if you can see me very well as the light's dwindling here. So you're going to go with 55? So is this like the Price is Right? You know, whoever wins is the one that doesn't go over?
Exactly. What are you going with?
I'll go with 50. I'll go with 50. I'll go with 50. Now, we're meeting next week in 3 days, right? Not in a week and a half. Just kidding.
Okay, cool.
I find that as a win, whether 50 or 55. I find that as a win. It's like, it's only 50. It's 55. But yeah, I'll lose. That's okay. You know what I'm going to do? I'm going to separate that 10 Banker X right now. It's like, don't worry. He's like, you lost. Yes, but I got it at 40.
Hey. Okay. All right. Well, I guess he's not coming back on.
No, he might have dropped off or something. I mean, that's why I use I have to use the computer because if I use the phone, my phone would have died already. Someone says there's 60. Thinks he's
Well, I'll tell you what. I'm gonna put Dan on it as well.
Put Dan. Yeah. So we got 50, 55, 60.
Any more guesses? Everyone will send you 10 Banker X each.
You know what? If it jumps to 100 Banker X, I'm gonna airdrop 100 Banker X on that day.
Oh.
So start buying. And at 100 Banker X, that's like my mortgage. You know? Just kidding.
Cool. Well, yeah. So yeah, we'll call it a break then now, and then we'll meet up again next week and we'll see what the prices are and see what's changed and see what's new, I guess.
All right, no worries.
Sorry.
Hey, always a pleasure. All right.
Yeah, thanks everyone for joining us, and then yeah, we'll talk to you next week. So,
All right, definitely. I'll take care.
bye.
Bye.